Night Live. What's going on, everybody?
Architect, it is Friday Night Live. Yes, indeed. Dialect. It's Friday night. Are you ready for Friday night?
Yeah, man, we ready.
All right, yo.
What we got on the? No, go ahead, bro. What was you about to say?
I just want to give a warm welcome to all of those of you who are following us on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and hit the like page button on Facebook. Welcome to that Hip Hop Citizen live stream show.
That's right.
YouTube too.
Yeah, what'd you say? We're streaming on YouTube too, right?
Yeah, and hit that like button on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe there too.
Subscribe on YouTube, hit the like page. That's it.
So what's going on, fellas? How was your week, man?
Yo, I had an awesome week. You know, it was another quarantine week, another week at home, and great to spend time with the family.
Right on.
Yeah, same thing with me, man. Just another shelter in place week, working remote.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. By the time this thing's done, man, I might be a full-blown alcoholic.
I'm already catching up to you guys.
I don't know that there's a brewery in town that I haven't visited and picked up a few and brought them home with me. Yeah. What we got here?
Yeah, last week we didn't get to touch on this. Like, there were albums that were celebrating anniversaries last week. And, the first album that I have on the list was Ghostface Killer's fourth album, the Pretty Tony album, which was released on April 20th, 2004.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The Pretty Tony, I like this. I had this one. This is one of those that I actually had. I remember thinking, the Ghostface, it surprised me actually. And I remember thinking this is an instant classic. Totally surprised by it.
Yeah, I just think like beat wise and lyric wise, this was a dope album. I think some of my favorite tracks on this was Beat It Sway, Beat the Clock, Run.
Run was my joint.
Oh yeah, Run. The cops go, run.
Yeah, that joint.
Yeah, I heard that on the DJ Premier and the RZA battle. That was one of those highlights of the battle.
Yeah, one of my standout joints on this one I listened to all the time was Holla. That's the joint where he raps over the Delphonics. La 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 means I love you.
Oh yeah.
He didn't even take out the lyrics. He just played the song, sang over on the hook. This shit is still a classic joint to me, man.
And you know what? Who else does that to this day? We see West Side Gun doing that same thing. I mean, you'll hear a track and West Side, just right on top of it, lyrics and all, vocals and all.
Yeah, he definitely birthed the generation with his style for sure.
Oh yeah. And not to forget the big robe with the rhinestones on them. Yo, that was pretty fresh.
In fact, right now, I think a lot of the underground scene that we're seeing now is based around that foundation. In my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, man. So this, to me, man, definitely classic Ghostface album as always.
Yes, it is totally classic.
Yeah. Yo, now so. To piggyback on that, I believe we were talking about the article where RZA was giving Ghostface full go to bring in the beats for the next Wu-Tang album.
Yeah, which I think is going to be the last Wu-Tang album.
Wow.
Yeah,
the last is it really going to be the last?
I don't think so, man. Come on now.
Another marketing opportunity.
Yeah, that's what they say. And I think Master Killer, he was like, he loves Ghostface. He loves his beat selection. But he thinks if this is going to be the last Wu-Tang album, the person that should be in charge of production should be RZA because he's the Abbot. And he's responsible for basically putting the group together, having the vision. He also produced everybody's solo albums, the first solo albums, and all of those are hip-hop classics.
I can agree to that.
Yeah, I agree to that. Definitely.
No doubt.
But has he produced anything memorable, or is this his first production shot?
Who's that? I don't know that he's producing. It sounds to me like he's curating the beats. He's pulling all the beats in.
The beat selections, kind of like executive producing the album.
All right, so he's picking the beat selections. Okay, I get it. So he decides what beats is the ones that they're going to drop the lyrics on.
Yeah,
right.
So regardless, I think Ghost has a good ear for beats. Of course,
Oh yeah,
Wu-Tang,
no question.
they always come with the lyrics, so you know it's going to be a hot album. But I think if it's going to be their last album, you got to end it the way you started it. And
I
that's what
think beat wise between Ghost and Raekwon, they were able to do a good job and putting the beats together for their solo projects after the Wu-Tang dust settled.
Yeah, but I think RZA was responsible for their first joints, Iron Man,
Right.
Links. So definitely, I think the RZA needs to be involved in the, just because that's the way it's been done.
Yeah, but right, that's a cycle, right? So you put out the last Wu-Tang album, then of course everybody's going to want to see the kind of that loop recycle, right? So you get the group joint, and does it spawn off some new?
Yeah, and it kind of goes in line with the documentary they had on Showtime, and also the Hulu show that they have, where you seeing RZA as the mastermind. So kind of like, you just got to end it that way.
Right.
But I mean, I still want to hear the album, but
Yep.
I like to see RZA on top of the beats. You want to cue up that next album? Yeah, so the next album we have is Gangstar's first album, No More Mr. Nice Guy, which was released April 22nd, 1989.
1989.
Yeah, this introduced the world to the lyrical stylings of Guru and the production of DJ
Premier.
But man, just kind of I revisited this a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know, man. I'm not. You could tell it was definitely the first go around, because Manifest for me was the only one that pulled me in. All the other stuff is so. And I can even say back then, Manifest was probably the only joint that I rocked on this, but it is Gangstar, so.
Yeah.
They had a Manifest was my joint, and they had another joint called, I think, Positive and Negativity. That joint was kind of hard too. But yeah, Manifest was definitely the standout joint on that one.
Yep.
Now what's that? No, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say another thing I noticed too was like the clarity of Guru's lyrics. That was one thing that stood out to me. Like he pronounced every word perfectly.
Right.
Yeah. Even though he had a raspy voice, right? He had that raspy voice to him,
Yeah, it's a little raspy. And what's amazing is that these guys kind of like, paved the way for that whole New York sound. And none of them were originally from New York. You got
it's interesting to hear the development of Premier's production from that point into, to see him now.
But wait a minute, where was Guru from? I know Premier is from Houston, Texas, but where's Guru from?
Guru's
Boston, right?
Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and his production style pretty much probably produced for all of the greats in New York.
How did they connect, by the way? Was DJ Premier, as I understand it, was an engineering student down at the University of Houston, right? So how did they connect? Do we have a background on that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, I should know that, but I really don't know the background story to that.
Interesting. We'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I would imagine it has to do with some college radio or something to that effect. I don't know.
Yeah, I found it interesting that Premier is a engineer by training, and that explains the complex sound of his production.
Well, he actually they had an interview with him when he did what's old girls, the R&B singer, the Puerto Rican girl, not Lopez, the blonde hair. She was big.
Christina
Aguilera. He did production on that, and he.
Wait a minute, she's Puerto Rican?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's half Latino, I believe.
She's Puerto Rican, bro. An ounce of that blood, that's what they are.
Okay.
Got it. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that at all. I'm learning something. At HIPHOPCITIZEN, I learned something new.
But yeah, so he was saying that his style of engineering changed when he moved into that realm, because hip hop, we like everything loud and hot. And he was at that point, he learned a lot of techniques in dealing with that different genre.
Word. So what you were saying, Juan, that we kind of broke up. You were saying it's interesting how he was an engineer student.
Well, yeah. I've always found it interesting that for DJ Premier to be an engineering student, and then you listen to the production that he has. I mean, the engineering mind is always one of intrigue and complication, and that certainly is replicated in his production.
Yeah, definitely, man. He definitely has an ear for beats. And another thing I noticed, he was one of like the first DJs that spoke with the turntables. Like for the
Yeah.
hook. You know what I'm saying? Like Guru didn't really have to write any hooks. Premier would just take like audio samples from different songs and just cut them up. You know what I'm saying? And a
In
person that
fact, it got to the point where that particular style, you already knew who it was.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like his
Yeah,
production style is the hook style, the way he cuts up the audio samples. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely like a legendary hip hop group.
for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
What we got next?
I guess we could segue into that last week was also the 10-year anniversary of Guru's passing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever happened to Solar?
I never knew anything about that cat. The cat that I thought
Wasn't once I believe this last album that was just released. He Premier had to come to an agreement with him in order to get some of the vocals to be able to produce that album.
a word.
Yeah, that's the way that I understand it. They actually had to work out a legal agreement because Solar had so much material that he had recorded and had rights to, apparently.
Wow.
So, not sure how to what level, but it's kind of interesting. I know he was getting all kind of death threats and all kind of stuff during his when Guru passed.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I never knew who Solar was. Cause I remember coming up, there was a French rapper by the name of Solar, but it was a totally different looking
Yeah,
dude.
different Solar,
Yeah,
different Solar.
yeah, I thought it was that dude, but yeah, it wasn't him. I never knew
Yeah,
anything about Solar. Didn't know anything like that, but we got some great music out of Gangstar, man, and definitely a legendary group. This album probably wasn't one of their best, but it, like I said, paved the way for all the other albums to come.
yeah, no doubt, man. This right here,
Yeah,
X Clan, boy. Whew.
see.
celebrated 30-year anniversary last week.
30. For this to be 30 years old, I'm surprised we don't hear more of the X Clan. I mean, I don't hear much of their music. I mean, have we gone too hard? I mean, have we gone too rough? I mean,
Man,
why?
this time right now, X Clan would be perfect for the airwaves.
I completely agree. Where is the X Clan? I mean, I would like to hear some Public Enemy, X Clan. I mean, I think that whole genre is kind of.
Yeah, the thing X Clan consisted of many.
What's going on, Dave?
What's going on, Dave? Chilling. So yeah, it was one of those pretty big groups like Public Enemy, and standout members, of course, was Professor X,
Yes.
Brother J, and then you had Sugar Chaff, who was the DJ. Then you had associated acts, ISIS, who later went on to go by the name of Lin Q.
Lin Q, I was just about to say.
Yeah, you had Queen Mother Rage, I believe, was the other person. She also put out some music as well too. But yeah, another interesting thing about X Clan was Professor X was the son of Brooklyn activist Sonny Carson.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and for those of you that know Sonny Carson, he's very popular in hip hop because that movie that he had called The Education of Sonny Carson, which was about his life, based on that Ghostface on that Iron Man album, pretty much sampled the best parts of that movie and put it in his album.
And what parts were that?
The parts where he's like, where the kid meets the gang and he's like, "Yo, just me and you, motherfucker, just me and you. I'll put trademarks around your fucking eye." Then you have All That I Got Is You, where he's like, "What they get you for? How long you gonna be here? How old are you?" He's like 13. He's like, "Damn, the bastard must be out running out of niggas to arrest." Yeah, all those audio samples. Dave, you should be familiar with that, right?
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay. Yeah, but I remember them, man. It just they were African medallion out back in the 90s.
Oh yeah, everyone had the African medallion. In fact, if you had an African medallion, you probably was picking it up from the X Clan.
Yeah, I remember them also having a lot of. They were socially conscious, but a lot of their beats were like funk beats.
Right.
I think their main joint was it Funky Lesson. I think it sampled some Parliament Funkadelic.
Nah, man, Grand Verbalizer, that was my joint.
Yeah, Grand Verbalizer. That I mean that was the exact same sample from Microphone Fiend too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was hot, man. Brother Jay, he's still out, man. He's still doing his thing. On DJ Sugar Shaft passed away, and Professor X passed away. But I know you guys remember there was always the catchphrase at the beginning and the end of the video. Let's see who can say it, man.
Something you suckers. Or
No, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. With the key. Sissy.
Sucker. Yeah, sissies. Here it is.
Yeah. And he used to start it off with a, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, this is protected.
Vanglorious.
Correct. That's legendary, man. Like,
no doubt.
Every good artist should have a catchphrase like that, man. Like I remember there was this battle rapper, man. I mean, I'm not going to name him, but he didn't have the best bars, but he had the best introduction. He would be like, yo, my name is so-and-so. Ask about me. I'm that dude to know. I mean, I thought that was dope.
I don't know who the hell you're talking about, but all right.
I mean, he actually said something else, but I'm trying to keep it clean.
For what? This is the internet, baby.
Yeah, man. I mean, I might try to be on the news one day, so I'm trying to just myself,
Yo, in fact, we got a listener right now who's chiming in. Micah Mitchell was a big X-Clan fan.
Word, man. Post the comments, Don Juan.
Yeah, well, I'm only seeing Facebook commenters. If you're out there, yeah, we're live. I'm not seeing many Facebook comments. So, all right, there it is. I see you, Micah. What up, Micah?
What up, though? See, he got the fist and everything. Look.
There's X-Clan. So there's influencer. That's somebody that's influenced by X-Clan.
What you got next, bro?
Yeah, I got it queued up.
You.
This album right here was released April 20th, 1999. It's the first solo album by MF Doom.
Wow.
And he's still banging, huh?
Still to this day.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. Like, I don't know if a lot of y'all remember this cat, but he actually first came out. His debut was in the song "The Gas Face" by Third Base. Back when he was Zev Love X from KMD.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, correct. And they had, it was 3 members of the group: Zev Love X, aka MF Doom.
Wow.
His brother Sub Rock, and Onyx was the other cat.
Wow.
But unfortunately, his DJ Sub Rock passed away. And when he passed away, I guess kind of put him in a bad place. So then he came back with this alter ego wearing the Dr. Doom mask. Came out as MF Doom.
Yo, so a friend of mine, Count Fifth, they were so I don't know if you've heard of Man Bite Dog. So my homeboy Ron, Man Bite Dog Records, Rock Marciano was the first to I think they launched his career. But I had a discussion with them one time over at their record shop, and they were telling me that he literally would not put that mask. He would, before he would get out of a van, he made you leave.
Wow.
And then he got into character and would come out of the van. He would not let you see him put the mask on. That's how dead ass serious he is about wearing that mask.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, here's the thing. It's like this stuff, I think this was put out. I forgot the label it was put out on, but this was like so underground. It was like the embodiment of that underground sound of the late 90s.
Yeah.
Songs in there, Operation Greenbacks.
The flow, and I think his voice.
Crazy. Yeah, the flow.
His voice was ill.
Yeah. Of course, he went on to put out some other classic albums. He put out some joints with Madlib, Mad Villain albums. He had joints with Danger Mouse?
Right.
He put out joints with what was the other one he had? I mean, he had a lot of albums out, man. I mean, he's still rocking till today. He did a lot of collaborations.
What up, Sherry T?
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. One of my favorite underground MCs, man.
And also, Don, like I would say, most underrated because MF Doom is known for his bars. I mean, this is a guy who who could bend words inside of bars like no other. So again, I think MF Doom was probably one of hip hop's most underrated artists.
I mean, I think underrated is like not for him though, man. I mean, he's known.
Nah.
A lot of cats are just known in the States, man, but he's known worldwide.
Well,
Yo, but you know the ill
he's
thing
underrated.
about the way that he always presented his product, and it's not to knock it or say anything bad, but it was very almost boutique. It was very unique in how he put it out and how he released it.
Facts.
And I think that's, for me, that's what separated him from a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. And another thing too is like his beats, man. His beat selection was crazy too, man. The samples he would use and the flow and the content. It was just like I said, the embodiment of that underground sound in the late 90s, and he's kept the same formula going over the years, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so Mr. Simonism. I know you weren't big on the underground hip hop. You remember anything about MF Doom?
No, I want to know, what is this guy Dominic talking about? I never claimed to ever be able to spit no bars. You know what I'm saying? I spit on.
Who said that?
I don't know who. Yeah, Mr. He trying to disrespect the set. You know, I don't like that.
Yeah, you see that is one.
Yeah, I know Dominic. We know Dominic.
Oh, you know, okay.
I'm chilling. You know what I mean?
Let me get the other one queued up. But yeah, so Dave, you say you can't remember much about MF Doom. Do you remember KMD?
Wow.
They had that song Peach Fuzz back in the day.
No.
You remember the Gas Face?
When this album came out, I'll tell you what I know from that period of time, that era. When did it come out?
Yo, if it ain't G Unit, David said, fuck it.
Nah.
Dave, you remember the Gas Face video by Third Base?
Yes.
He was the last dude to rap in that. Zev Love X.
Nah. Okay. No.
I told you, it ain't G Unit, bro.
Guys,
It's not Lloyd Banks.
Still a hip hop legend, man.
The Gas Face.
Hey, yo, speaking of Lloyd Banks, Lloyd Banks just dropped a freestyle, right?
God bless him.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I figured you'd be happy to hear that, Dave.
I didn't hear it though.
Yeah, it actually sounded good.
I remember Lloyd Banks earlier this year. Was it earlier last year or later last year that he said something about people are not checking for him anymore when a fan asked him to put out some music?
Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah, I thought he should have said that, man. He still got fans. I thought he was the nicest in
Man, there's a place for everybody.
Exactly.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a place for everybody.
Oh,
you're right. This trash can.
Album, this is the best album of all time.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely one of my favorites. I mean, I've had this CD several times. It got stolen. I bought it again. Got stolen. I bought it at least 3 times. Definitely
the greatest album of all time in hip hop.
Yo, what up, kid? I know shit's rough doing your bid. When the cops came, you should have slipped in my crib. Classic.
It's top 5.
The best album of all time.
I mean, I can honestly say, man, every track on this album is fire. I mean, you can't go wrong with production from Premier, Q-Tip, Large Professor, LES.
Hey, yo, can I give y'all a story time on this album?
Let's go for it.
Yeah, let me give you story time. Sure. So, yo, me, my homie, Bob Woodson, and another cat, Bill Moppin, and I'm dropping dime. But anyway, this album had just dropped. I had just bought an Eagle Summit that had some rims on it. The Joker, it was gold. It was beautiful. It had a tape deck. Just to let you know how far back we're going. So we're heading down to the beach. I pop in the Illmatic cassette. The tape deck breaks. I can't eject the tape deck. So we were stuck listening to Illmatic the whole weekend at Virginia Beach with an ounce of weed and Illmatic rocking the whole weekend at Virginia Beach. How it can't get no better than that, baby.
That's a classic. I mean, I can still listen to that to this day. And as Simonism mentioned, it's definitely a top 5. It should be in everyone's top 5.
No, that's the best album of all time.
Yeah, if you're new to hip hop, if you never heard of hip hop, I would say start here.
That's the greatest album of all time.
Yeah, shout out to
you got the Who's Who on production. You got the lyrics of and you could tell he was just raw and uncut in every way.
Yeah, shout out to Larry Harris in the chat. Yeah, I forgot about Pete Rock. Pete Rock produced on that too. Yeah,
what up, Larry Harris? Look, yo, what up, Ron? Ron No.
Yeah, but this album, man, was like highly anticipated for me because the first time I was introduced to Nas, he went by Nasty Nas, and it was on MC Surge, Back to the Grill Again.
Yeah.
When he had, and I think he was one of the like first rappers to start really saying stuff for shop.
Well, yo, didn't he first got his at the barbecue joint, the main.
Correct, but his first video, because back then, I was a kid, wasn't really buying albums, and the only song I knew about from Main Source is Looking at the Front Door.
Right.
I remember seeing the video when he had those lines. This is Nas, kid, you know how it runs. I'm waving automatic guns at nuns, sticking up preachers in the church. I'm a stone crook. Serial killer who works by the phone book. So I remember just seeing those lines. I was like, damn, I gotta check this dude out.
And then Q-Tip, like the production, One Love.
Not one slow jam joint on there. He didn't have no Notorious B.I.G. joints.
Life's a bitch, baby. What are you talking about? Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high.
Where he debuted, where AZ made his big debut, man. I mean,
come on, man.
That ain't One More Chance. That ain't Juicy. He all right.
Of course it's not. It's better. It's better.
That's your opinion, man. I mean,
it's all of our opinions. You're exactly right. Everything you're saying is your opinion. Everything John's saying is
facts. It's facts.
Yeah. Fact this.
I only spit facts.
Yeah, okay. Or your facts, those John facts. Those ain't David Simon facts.
I mean, but
David Simon facts.
Yo, chime in. Anybody that's watching, chime in. What you think? Illmatic or Biggie Small's first album? Ready to Die. I'm trying to see what the fans. I'm trying to see what the people got to say.
Top 5. Because you want me to be honest with you?
It's the best album of all time.
Chamber is the best hip hop album ever.
I mean, Nas was getting all philosophical on this joint, man. Now it's all about cash in abundance. Niggas I used to run with is rich or doing years in the hundreds. I switched my motto. Instead of saying fuck tomorrow.
Ain't no witness. No amateurs here. I damage and tear. If he is MCs fear me, choose here not to hear me. Clearly, I'm a triple beam dream.
Illmatic. Look at this. Nas, Illmatic.
Come on, man.
Yo, Dave, let me say something, though, man. Every time you make this argument, you say the same verse, man.
Okay. All right. What you want some? Okay. What's a good one?
But you don't even know MF Doom, man.
My time's like Sinatra. Peruvians try to do me in. I ain't paid them yet. Trying to push 700s. They ain't make them yet.
Like I said, man.
What you? Come on, man.
Nas to me.
Nas, Wu-Tang.
Yo, my man said tell songs in the key of life to calm down. They getting on the Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, but I agree with you though, man. Ready to Die, the 36 Chambers, Illmatic. Those are some strong East Coast songs.
Yo, the 90s had it going on. Let's stop playing.
Come here. You a fan, cuz. You a fan. You just in a fan's place.
You charged up today, son. You charged up today.
I like a charged up Dave.
Disrespect from nobody, son. Nobody.
Charged, man. That's how Brooklyn do. I remember a girl said, they got 2 types of people in Brooklyn. You got the quiet, laid back ones. You got the loud, wild, and crazy ones. So
they got quiet, laid back ones.
Yeah, and that's also Nasty Nas, because that's why he was so dangerous, man. You would look at this kid sitting in the corner and be like, oh, he rap? Then he rap. You walking away saying, yo, that kid is nasty. Because he killed that live at the barbecue. He must have been the youngest cat on there. He said, verbal assassin, my architect pleases. When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus.
That line alone. See, look, Dave don't even know what to say. He's speechless. Look at him. Look, he's dazed and confused now. He's like, damn.
What do you expect for someone born after 1990?
No. Hold on. Straight up. You know what? I'm gonna go through the Rolodex and I'm gonna come back and it's gonna be number Notorious B.I.G. for all night long.
We're gonna have a B.I.G. night.
That's it.
What you got next?
My first thoughts was what is it? You look so good, huh? I suck on your daddy's dick. I never felt that way in my life.
Yo, chill. Do you hear that?
That's right. Because
you hear what he said?
You know how hard to say that? Big.
That's suspect. Say that. And then from that, they went to the shiny suits, bro.
No, he didn't win no shiny. They didn't win shiny suits. They gone.
They're responsible for the jiggy.
No.
The bubble suits floating with all the sunglasses and you remember, Puffy in it.
I don't remember that.
What we got next?
More Notorious
baby.
Yeah, next album, Sound Element 2, Raucous.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, Dave, man, I just gotta give you like a big pause on that last statement right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I never said it because it's supposed to be impactful, and he was impactful.
That was impactful, all right.
Exactly. Nobody else. You don't understand. That was the importance of Notorious B.I.G. He wasn't fearful.
He was willing to suck somebody's daddy's dick.
That's because they look so good. Who here to say something like that? That's what I'm saying to you. You don't understand. We get on these mics and we try to say something to change the world, and he was the only one that was doing it.
Really? He was the only one that was doing it.
What else was out there? Oh, like I said, Wu was doing it, but you can't feed steak to babies, so I ain't gonna recite none of that to you.
Like I said, man, at the end of the day, we all entitled to our own opinion, man. But I mean, that Nas album, Illmatic, man, beginning to end, man. If you had a tape from side A to side B, man, everything on that was fire, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, for a whole weekend, the tape rocked. And you know how you get to the end of the tape and then it would hit and it would flip to the next side.
Yeah.
All weekend.
And that's not we didn't even bring up New York State of Mind, man.
The fact that my tape deck was broken was not even an issue.
Yeah, but I mean, we got the other album up right now. So this joint right here, Sound Bombing 2 by Raucous.
Hey, refresh my memory. I may have been a kid when this was out. What was the joint on this one that was so banging?
1999. It had the joint, Sadat X and
the 199 joint.
199. Still getting mine in the 19.
And that's when M showed his ass.
Correct. Then you had B-Boy Document. Then you had us joining with him and Thurston Howell III.
Okay.
My favorite
LP.
My favorite joint of that was Company Flow Patriotism.
Yes.
But wait a minute. That joint won't get mine in the 199. I thought that was Common. Wasn't that Common?
Correct.
But this the album that it was on.
It was on this album.
Oh, because I only saw the single and they only had Common. Okay.
I mean, you're talking Talib, you're talking Mos Def, you're talking Common, bro.
Then you had
amazing. And Shabam Sadiq. Let us not forget Shabam Sadiq.
Yeah. Then you had your hometown favorite on there, man, Mad Skills on B-Boy Document with Mos Def and Mr. Eon from High and Mighty.
Right.
I'm definitely a friend of Skills. Shout out to Shaquan Lewis, by the way.
Yeah, that was dope album, man. Mr. Simon, you remember this joint?
Was Beanie Siegel on it?
See, there you go. Boom. Forget about it.
Was Hove on it?
Nah, but the Cocoa Brothers was on it.
Nah, okay. Lloyd Banks wasn't on it, bro.
No. I only mess with Smith and Wesson. I don't know who the Cocoa Brothers is.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, Dave, I'll agree with you on that.
And then you had Pharaoh Monch.
That's the olive branch. That's the only olive branch I'm giving you.
Yeah, Pharaoh Monch had to join
Boom, bye to what Soundboy had. Number 9.
Yeah, that album, crazy.
Yeah, then you also had a joint by Pharaoh Monch called Mayor. That joint on there was fire to me.
That whole album, bro. That whole album was it. And then the Beat Junkies. I'm a DJ head.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to DJ Rags. And that whole Beat Junkie squad is off the hook.
Yeah, who's in the Beat Junkie again? I know you had Babu was in there.
Babu, J Rock.
Okay. And Babu was also the DJ for Dilated Peoples, right?
That's right.
Yeah, dope album, man. I mean, if you're a fan of Underground, because a lot of these people that were on Raucous back then, you had Talib Kweli, Reflection Eternal was on there, Black Star was on that Raucous. Then one of my favorite groups of all time, Company Flow, which consists of LP, Big Just, and Mr. Len. And LP, of course, he went on to form Run the Jewels with Killer Mike.
And they're killing it right now. Did you see the latest video?
Yeah, with Greg Nice and DJ Premier. Shit is fire.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah,
I like the original.
Of course, the Dwick. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. But I like how they flipped it though, and at least they paid homage to have DJ Premier in there and Greg Nice.
Yeah.
If they had Smooth B in there, that would have been dope. Smooth B put out a song.
Whatever.
Smooth B was fire, man. Come on, man.
I'm just being a smart ass, bro. I'm just stirring the pot, baby.
Smooth B killed Dwick.
Yeah. Well, that track, just everybody killed that. That's just
Greg Nice opened it up with the whoop ass. What do you mean?
Well, anything that Greg Nice was on back in the days, you already know what was happening when he jumped on.
I mean, and Nice and Smooth, man, underrated rap crew, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I give you that. They have some hits. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the hits with me. If you ain't got I ain't messing with you.
Word. Don Juan, you got the next one queued up?
Yes, I do.
Of course, this one right here. Debut album from Outkast. Okay, somebody got to help me reading this because it was this.
Yo, rest in peace, my man Blue. When that album first dropped, that's all we listened to.
Damn, Don Juan, you good at spelling right there, man.
yeah. It took me a while to get that one, but I got it.
So this one right here is Outkast Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, released April 26, 1994.
Shout out LaFace.
Yeah, released on the Coast Records, man. This was the album that introduced the world to Outkast, Big Boy and Dre. And introduced us to the Dungeon family, man.
That's the Tribe Called Quest of the South.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the reason why Atlanta is hip hop today, because of Outkast.
I remember when I first saw these cats, man. What was the joint called, man? The very first video they put out. Was it Players Ball?
Wasn't it
Southern Playalistic?
Nah, it was
Cadillac.
Andre was off, man. That dude Andre 3000, he was off on that first one before he got wild.
Yeah,
he was off. Woo.
Yeah, I don't know why my memory's skipping me, but I remember that joint being, and I always liked coming from New York. I always liked when different artists came out from different areas, and they just were they self. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. New York was not
me.
Wait, New York
not
was
me. I'm not gonna lie. I was 100% NYC hip hop, and you had to really make an impression for me to even think about.
Yeah, let's go back to that dialect.
I'm not ashamed to admit that.
You mean to tell me in New York you was full of Outkast in New York when they first came out? No, you weren't.
Okay. As somebody who lived in New York, went to school in New York,
I don't know about Tribe Called Quest. I would go more with Mobb Deep than Tribe Called Quest.
You think Outkast is a Southern Mobb Deep? I think they're more of a Tribe Called Quest Southern.
I don't know, man. So it was like straight up. Andre was Prodigy and Big Boy was Havoc, in my opinion.
I felt like Andre was Q-Tip.
You are trying.
And Big Boy was Fife.
Andre would wrap circles around Q-Tip when he's dead and gone.
I'm talking about style, visual, you know what I'm saying?
No
like
way.
They was on that same eclectic.
Never Q-Tip.
Yes.
On
Sorry.
Andre.
Sorry, you're wrong, Dave. Sorry.
I must be deaf, dumb, and blind. If Andre,
well, they have been calling you Stevie. They have been calling you Stevie.
Prodigy. And go to. I don't understand it. You guys here. What are you guys? John, what you sipping on, my friend? They need to sell it.
Hey, I already tried that. It didn't work out too well, bro.
That's that moonshine. That's that moonshine. You are crazy. Q-Tip on Andre 3000 level. Never. In 1,000 years, 3,000 years. Next.
Yeah, so Architect and Don Juan, y'all saying y'all weren't feeling anybody that wasn't coming out of New York? So
I'm not saying that.
Outcast?
I'm saying that you had to really come with some shit.
Yeah,
for me to say okay.
Same thing for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Come on, man. New York standards in hip hop is
right.
probably the strictest standard you ever gonna find.
And not only that, you got to put time and space.
Am I right or wrong?
Put time and space in perspective here. Back in the 90s, yo, you weren't hip hop unless you were coming out of New York and maybe LA.
You see, I think that was the misconception people had about New Yorkers, man. The thing with us is that, we liked out of town music. You know what I'm saying? If somebody came with it like how Outkast came with it, we showed them love because Outkast was being themselves. They had lyrics. And like I say, this is coming from somebody that was in New York, in the NYC public school system when this was going down. And we were feeling Outkast. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
You were in VA listening when this, I was in New York, in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
What year are we talking about again?
94. We was listening to Outkast. David Simon, you can agree with me on that, right?
Outkast got play. I mean, they
got play out here, man.
Honestly, New York really didn't start feeling it until they did that Ben's Beamer joint on the New Jersey Drive soundtrack. But this album here got rotation. And
no doubt about it.
And then when they
that's a dope album right there. And I'm saying, like I said, NY heads, and both of y'all being from NY and my native blood, we have the strictest standards.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember, saying the whole country wasn't feeling this unless you were from the South, and this was like the debut album for the LaFace.
I disagree.
You remember Outkast at the very first Source Awards? Outkast won that, and they went up there and they said something like the South got something to say. There was heads that were still feeling them, man. I mean,
but that was years later. That's not when they first came out. When they first came out, everyone was like, "What is this shit?" No one was feeling it. They was from the South. Wait, remember?
That's how you felt. Speak for yourself.
Whoa.
Speak for BA.
Let's back up. Let's back up. Remember, this
was stealing lines from Andre.
Hold up. Outkast came out when the West Coast and East Coast beef was hitting. Outkast was the people in the middle who actually broke the truce.
Dude, man, Biggie, One More Chance on his album, the video, he had Jermaine Dupri and the Brat up in there, man. New York always been showing the South love, man. I mean, like I said, there were probably some artists that, we probably really didn't like mess with like that, but Outkast was definitely one of those groups that we were like, yo, these cats is dope because they were being themselves. They wasn't coming out there trying to imitate anything else. They were being themselves, and, we respected that. The same thing with Goody Mob. We respected that.
TLC was the first group off of LaFace.
Correct. But I'm saying, like Dave, you could agree with me. Outkast got play in New York City.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, they did. I'm talking about initially, no way. Not initially.
Initially, they did. It was, like I said, when that video first came on, I was like, these guys were flowing to the beat. The beat was a little, old school, but we were still messing with it, man, because they knew how to ride a beat. A lot of cats that come out, sometimes they're a little offbeat. Outkast their flow was perfect, lyrics was on point, beats were dope.
You know what? Dialect? The whole point was that the South was coming out when BET started to rap in New York. When they stopped being a regional television station and started to navigate or migrate up north, that's when cats like Outkast got play and New York recognized them. But they weren't played in no clubs.
But Joe, so I was
now
during this time I'm in Virginia. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was getting mad love in VA. Absolutely.
The South
mad love.
BET repped the South more than they repped any other genre or any.
And I'm just saying, from my perspective, I'm a New York head. Mm-hmm. So my stand when it first dropped, it took me a couple listens. I've always been that type. I'm gonna listen to an album 2 or 3 times before I tell you how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. And first go around, I'm like, okay, this is different. This ain't the South that I'm used to hearing. Then the second time, I already knew. I was like, this shit right here is a classic.
Yeah, I think the misconception about like New York, I think that's like with that whole East Coast, West Coast beef, is that heads in New York wasn't messing with people from out of town, and that wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? If your stuff was dope, we was messing with you. Ice Cube We listened to all them Ice Cube albums when they came out. We listened to all them NWA albums when they came out.
But the point, do you agree with my point that the standards that we hold from a New York perspective, from a New York state of mind, they're very strict?
Like I said, they are strict, but New Yorkers have this thing, where we respect you if you like wherever you're from, we give you respect if you stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Which is what groups like Outkast did, which is what like Ice Cube did. They stayed in their lane. You had groups, like there were some groups that were like from out of town and they were like trying to be like New York. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't really coming off right.
Give me one track, Miss T. Give me one track that they played in the Club of Outkast off this joint right here. Just one track.
Players Ball, man.
Never.
Yeah, no Players Ball.
Come on, man. When they mixed it in there. During DOS Effects? When they mixed it in there. Come on, man. I love you, Miss T, but I don't know. I started clubbing in 94. That's when it was jumping off. I'll tell you what they played. They played Craig Mack. They played Biggie. They played DOS. They played Wu. They played Mobb Deep.
All right.
No, I was getting, you got to understand, VA, yes, VA was playing a mashup of both. And Scarface, oh, by the way, was fucking huge out here. So,
only one Scarface joint was jumping off when around here, and that was what's the Ghetto Boys track? Out of my mind.
Mom playing tricks on me.
Yeah,
that's it.
We love that out in New York.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah,
this album.
Yeah, we play that in DC too.
So Juan kind of jumped the boat on this one, but next album was Big Pun's debut album, Capital Punishment, which was released on April 28th, 1998.
Wow.
This right here, man, classic album from a super dope MC, man. I don't.
It's classic.
He's up there as far as criticism is concerned, man.
It's classic, but and this is in no way a shape or form of bash or anything, but it let me know the influence that Jesus Christ, my head's slipping me.
Joe,
that Coogee rap had on the game.
Oh, of course.
There was a element of Coogee rap in that album, and then of course he added his own spice, like we do. He put a little adobo in there. You know what I'm saying? And man, that album.
Word. Yeah, I was hearing some of that adobo on that joint, man.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah. But definitely, man, Big Pun, man. One of my favorite MCs, man. I mean, the first time I heard Pun was on I think it was a Loud compilation joint. I think it was Soul in the Hole. Probably heard him before that, but I know he had a joint called You Ain't a Killer.
Yeah.
I was like, his wordplay, his delivery, everything, man. Punchlines, dude had it all, man. It was the total package.
Yeah, man, this album was dope, and the second album, it was good, but I'm very curious to see what the career would have been if he was able to be around.
Yeah,
because Baby had some holes in it,
and too, he definitely had an influence on the people around him. Because I remember Fat Joe, his first couple of albums, of course, dope albums, but I felt like when Pun came into the mix. Fat Joe, you started to hear a change in his lyricism, man. It's like, you're like, yo, where this Joe came from? You know what I'm saying? Like, Dog Cartagena, I was like, yo, that album was classic to me, too.
Yeah. And I know
had a couple albums that were slept on.
I know there's a bit of a tangent, but, I've read that Big Pun used to be an underwear model. Is there any truth to that?
You trolling, Juan.
Not that I care, but, so I'm just thinking that the odds of him being a model.
Never heard that, man, but I definitely know, man. Dope MC, man. I mean, like I said, everything, man. Like you said, you heard the Coogee rap influence, the tongue twisters, whether it's Dead in the Middle, A Little Italy, Little Do We Know Every Riddle.
That was the adobo.
I mean, yeah, that was that G rap right there too, man. I mean,
G rap.
What up, K Beta?
What's going on, K Beta?
K, what's up, baby?
There's a top 5 lyricist right there.
Shout out to K Beta.
So what's y'all favorite joints on this, man? Let's name some joints, man. I know he had Still Not a Player with
Beware.
Joe. I'm Not a Player.
I gave you fair warning. Beware.
I like the joint he had with
Joe
Prodigy and Expect the Deck on that. It was one of the last joints on that.
And Capital Punishment, the actual song.
Was fun. And, he
And what
had
was the joint where he talked about his sister owning a home and
yeah, that was Capital Punishment.
yeah,
Sister just bought a home without a loan.
without a loan, you go, girl.
Hey, look, so I was validated. Micah said it's true. He was a skinny guy at one time, and he
Yeah,
was a
Micah,
model.
for real. He was a model. He was
I didn't know
actually
if he
a
was an
model.
underwear model. That's
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, you took it to the next level, man.
Oh well, the underwear model. Hey, man, a lady told me that.
Yeah, but definitely. What's the other joint, man? And you also had Black Thought on that album, which was rare because you know a lot of people wasn't really putting Black Thought on albums because you know Black Thought was rocking with a band, but Big Pun had him on there, man.
That was a dope ass duo right there.
Fire, man. I mean, Pun killed that, man. I mean, I could repeat what he said, but it's just, like I said, flow, everything. Dude was the total package, man.
Hey, man, and shout out to Black Thought. That's the GOAT right now, in my opinion. That's my number one.
Mm-hmm. And also, like Dave said, Nas didn't have any songs for the club or any songs for the girls. This super lyricist Big Pun.
Nah, bro, because at that time, that's what it was about. It was about street shit. We wasn't worried about getting jiggy in the club with some sunglasses on.
Correct. But Big Pun was one of those rappers that was able to bridge the gap.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. So that's all about the club. Every morning, right down to Run DMC. It was all about the club.
Yeah, but the argument can be made that Run DMC is who brought the commercial shit back into the loop.
Yeah, but I was gonna say with Big Pun, he was still able to have like super lyrical songs, joints for the club, joints for the girls. Like I said, total package in more ways than one, man. So we lost the great one right there, man. I would love to see what he would have became.
I would love to have seen what a lot of these artists that we lost would have became. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
I mean, you know, God bless.
Particularly Big L.
Yeah. But Big Pun, you know, he was in trouble. I don't know.
Big L would probably. I would venture to say, just based on the trajectory that he was going, he may have been one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest.
Z was stealing from.
What's that?
Another artist Hov was stealing from.
Nah, come on, son. Nah. Like I said, man, I always tell you, if you want to say something, man, pull up some documents or some proof, man, saying that he stole.
Man, you go back to the Stretch Armstrong joint. You hear something that Hov stole. You go back to that first Outkast album. You look into it closely. You hear something Hov stole, yo.
Dave, cadence, I agree. The cadence for sure. There was a lot of cadence that he was definitely. I agree.
Cadence, words, actual.
You think phrases? Phrases?
Yes.
Oh shit! See, I'm gonna have to do my research there.
Yes, but it's all good. I mean, he called it paying homage.
I think you know he was inspired and influenced by Lord Finesse, but he also like the way for all them Harlem cats that came out after him, from Mace, Cameron, and with Cameron, the entire Diplomats, so Big L was
whatever. That was Juan's fucking peoples back then. Juan was all about the Diplomats.
Well, look, I'm a fan of Cameron.
That just wasn't my thing.
Cameron, I like Cameron.
I was messing with them cats, man. I thought they were.
Yo, Killer Cam is nice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like Cameron. Yeah,
Cam is nice all the way. Back to the first album. Cam, he may say some funny things like ha 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 stuff, but Killer Cam is nice.
Look, tell Cameron I used to get it in Ohio too.
That first joint he put out on Rockefeller, that shit was crazy, man.
Which one?
The joint that had Old Boy on it. Old Boy, Hey Ma.
Okay. Right. Yes, sir.
Mine. What else they had on there that I like? Come Home With Me was one of my favorite joints. With Cam, Jewels, and Jim Jones.
Well, then now you got me right there on the Jewels.
Jewels was nice. He was 18 at the time. He was killing it.
God bless him.
It's been said that Jewel was the best lyricist in that crew.
Okay, then they might as well. We might as well think so.
Yeah, I like Joel. Joel's tight, dog. That dude's tight.
Stop right now, because the
name is with a gang of gangs who hang and bang. Animals. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's tight, dog.
Yeah. Okay. Santana Town.
Yo.
Y'all diss Lloyd Banks? Okay.
I never dissed Lloyd Banks. I said Lloyd Banks was the best in G Unit.
Oh, no way.
Hey, I didn't listen to Lloyd Banks and I didn't listen to Diplomats. So that's y'all's fight to have.
You're missing out, man.
Shout out to
Stacy.
What's up, Stacy?
She's right. You can't sleep on Cam. I'm telling you, man. Y'all playing yourself.
Yeah.
Go back to the Children of the Corn. Yo, let me tell you something, man. I understand that the underground was very pro-black and all that, uplifting the hood and all that.
That wasn't all there was?
Keep it going with me. And
I
Cam,
mess with Harlem, though, man. I mess with Herb McGruff, Murder Mace. I mess with Mace, man. I'm not gonna be one of them cats that was like Mace was whack. Mace was nice.
okay, that's what's up.
I mess with them Harlem dudes, man.
What we got now? What we moving on to?
Yeah. Next.
Man.
God rest Big Pun Store.
Let's keep it New York, man. This album right here, the 4th album by Mobb Deep, Murder Music, released April 7th, 1999.
Another follow-up classic, right?
This one right here, man, has some gems on it, man. Quiet Storm was on that.
Woo.
It's Mine, where they sampled the Scarface intro. And the joint on there, I think a lot of people don't know this one. Architect, you might know this one. The joint he did with Kool G Rap. The real Alchemist, I think, produced that joint. Classic album.
Not too sure.
This was a good album, though. Dave, you remember any joints from this?
This wasn't up your alley, John.
Nah.
Okay. I understand. That's
Nah,
why
man.
you can't see the correlation with Mobb Deep and Outkast, because Mobb Deep was like not on your
No, they just. I'm not saying the album as a whole. They had some shit after the with Shook Ones and all that album, which is probably going to be the next one. But after that, there was other shit that I was following. You know what I'm saying? I just
classic
run around.
I pull out my heat first. He pull out his heat last. Now, who you think is alive breathing till this day? I'm telling you, little niggas, crime don't pay.
Yeah, that's the next album. That's not this album.
Yeah, but this joint right here, man. I mean, Nas was on this. You guys remember that joint Nas did? It's Mine, where he comes out, silk shirt in my chest show. What a flirt. Holly Berry do a kiss at the Barbra Streisand concert. I'm like, yo, fire.
That was this album?
That was this album right here. This is also the one with Little Kim, The Quiet Storm.
See, hey, look, Dave, you're on the same album that I'm on.
You're talking about the beat from what's the movie called?
Yeah, Scarface.
Scarface. That's what you're talking about? That was on this album?
That was on this album.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. Yeah, I remember toggling back and forth between my iPods, both the albums.
I thought that was Hell on Earth.
Nah, Hell on Earth was Godfather Part 3.
That's the album.
But this album right
That's
here.
the fucking. Hey, Micah, good segue. Look at Micah. Boom. Look at right at the bottom.
He's already ahead of you, Micah. So this right here, Mobb Deep's second album, because we mentioned the first album a couple weeks ago, The Infamous, released April 25th, 1995.
From beginning to end.
From beginning to
end.
Is this the one with Survival of the Illest?
Of course.
Yes.
Fittest.
Survival.
Shook One's Part 2.
How you gonna tell me about Mobb Deep and you can't even tell me the title of the main joint? Come on, Dave.
Main joint with Shook Ones.
Come on, Dave.
Man.
How about that? The main joint with Shook Ones.
Come on, Dave.
I remember coming home from school, man, turning to channel 31, video music box, and hearing the sound of the stove light up. And hearing
right.
Come on. Yeah.
So all the killers in the $100 billers. I'm like, what is this?
Hey, but hold up. Who was the cat that ran up on them? The Hispanic cat. He ended up getting locked up.
I know you're talking about. You're talking about True Life.
True Life.
Yeah,
he checked. Didn't he check their G?
He did, but
Yo, wait a minute. Prodigy did a bid for packing heat for that nigga.
It happens to the best of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, let me tell you.
I heard. I'm just saying. The story goes that True Life and his homies ran up in the joint that they was at recording and smacking cats around.
Yeah, DJ Muggs was in there too. I think when it went down. I mean, it happened.
Hey, Prodigy. They ran up on Prodigy. I don't know if Havoc was even there.
I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just a part of the game, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you run up on people that's it's the wrong dude sometimes.
Yo, look, you check the records. How many times probably you got caught with heat for niggas trying to rob him?
Yeah, like I said, that don't mean anything to me, man. Like I said, when shit happens sometimes. You know? Shit happens. But
Up north trip.
yeah, man, shit happens, man. I mean, you know, you can't help it, you know. So, but at the end of the day, they still put out classic albums. You know what I'm saying?
No question about it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, True Life. I thought he had potential, but unfortunately, circumstances happen.
Yeah, he went to jail.
And facts be told, if Prodigy wasn't suffering from that debilitating disease, sickle cell, they might not have ever test him.
Yeah, like I said.
Are you really, bro?
No props for nobody.
Next topic. Yo, come on, man. Stop it.
Yeah, but Infamous, man. Classic album. Man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Man, Survival of the Fittest. Shook Ones 1 and 2.
The drums on that album for me was spectacular.
Yeah. Majority of the album produced by Havoc.
Yeah, the drums on that album spectacular.
Also had joints on there from Q-Tip.
Yo, in fact, there was an article Havoc had recently on Hip Hop DX, if I'm not mistaken. And he was talking about his production style and what he was using. I found it interesting that he was using the MPC 60 and the ASR.
Yeah, and he said that the thing I didn't even know is somebody who made beats. He said the MPC 60 apparently had like 8 seconds of sample time. So he said what he would do, he would speed up the beat super fast and then slow it down just to get the full sample. I thought that was real creative because I never really thought of doing that. Like I used to have to like have somebody go into my sample and just add more sample time, but that shit was crazy when I heard that, man. He was able to produce a classic album, man. I mean, all the hot joints on there, he produced.
Yo, and some of the dopest hip hop is produced when you have minimal resource. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember at times using an SK5, and that's 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? 3 seconds of sample time. Or we had the Alesis sequencer, Alesis drum machine, and then some whack ass sampler that we would just drop shit in. It was so choppy, but like you said, you had to figure it out.
Yeah, definitely.
There wasn't no damn auto chop.
Mm-hmm.
What were you using, Dialect?
Me, I was using the ASR X. Then I traded that in and I got the ASR X Pro.
Was that the red joint?
The red joint, yeah, and it had all the 8 outs in the back, had extra sample time.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, man. I mean, I still have it, man. My wife wants me to sell it, but I'm like, nah, I can't get rid of it.
Nah, yo, my shit. I literally had to piece my shit together. That's when I had to really learn MIDI. At that point, it wasn't no plug and play shit like now. Like today, there's a lot of plug and play shit.
Yeah.
But we had an Alesis sequencer. It was like a gray joint, and you had to flip the top. I don't even remember the sampler that we was using, and then a drum machine, and so we wasn't sampling drums, and if we was, it was break beats, and there was minimal time. We didn't have all this crazy shit we got now. Wasn't no plugins, none of that bullshit.
I mean, I'm a hands-on kind of dude, man. So like trying to work with these like waves and Fruity Loops and all that stuff, man. It's like I'm old school, man. Just give me a pad.
Yeah.
Beat on that machine and I'll upload it later. I'll do all this.
But yo, truth be told, when I first got into, because I had put it down for a while. My first MPC was the MPC 1000. Mm-hmm. I played on all the other ones, but I owned the MPC 1000. Then I put that down for a while, and then I scooped up the MPC Renaissance, and that was, of course, it's not a standalone. So producing in that, it was ill because the learning curve, I caught up to the learning curve so fast. At that point, I had to figure out what else there was to do because I picked it up so fast. So I'm not knocking the new shit, but we had it rough back in the days. It was like we had stone tablet sequencers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like a lot of those analog machines back then just produced so much classics, man. Like the stuff, they have all this technology now, but it didn't compare to the stuff back then, man.
Silly me. I just went into a studio, looped this track, put it on a 24 track board, and played with it like that. I don't know if it was a EPMC me key or what. I just looped the track and played it like that. Silly me. Now I would like to hear some of the stuff you guys created. You know what I'm saying? That would be interesting.
Oh, I got beats for days, Dave.
I love it. Why don't we have one for our instrumental or our background?
Don't worry, we're working on that. It's all developing.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Okay, so I want to know what are some of the classic joints on this?
Yo,
that's it. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Yo, Dominic, I'm trying to get one of them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it out of them. We're gonna be the classics they produced. It's all good.
Y'all was sampling trash cans, man.
that's the best sound.
Yo, did you see that?
Yo, we were sampling trash cans, and right now they are fucking trash cans.
You see that sample that RZA had on that documentary or whatever, that next flick, the Wu Saga, where he was banging.
I ain't got to see that. Is it good?
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, shit's dope.
Shout out to Dominic.
that shit is dope.
He bringing the heat. I ain't mad at him.
So other than Shook Ones Part 2, what are some other joints y'all like on this?
Temperatures Rising.
That was dope.
That's
That's a man.
I like Give Up the Goods, man. When Rapper Noy came in there.
Oh, I like Way to Pain.
Yo, the whole album. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the whole thing is heat.
Front to back, baby.
Top 5.
Oh, Eye for an Eye featuring Raekwon and Nas.
The whole album. The whole album.
Whole thing is heat.
Yeah, man. Definitely a hip hop classic.
Smash Kings in a triple beam, condominium thugs dressed like a gentleman, tailor-made ostrich to nail from a women front, murdering, burgling with the head.
Yo, look at this dude. He doing karaoke up in here.
Yo, what
I like call me out down on no lyrics.
This fucking karaoke night.
I know some lyrics. I was there. I shine too.
I feel you.
Fun fact about this album right here, I guess because they were new cats and because of their first album, the Source liked it and they gave them 4.5 mics. But in 2004, I guess the street started talking, the fans started talking, they had to make it a 5-mic album after that. But this should have been 5 mics.
Yeah, fuck the Source.
Best line ever.
How about that? How you like those apples?
Me off with that Green Day hat, yo. That right there, that was street. And
yo, at some point, the Source just lost all credibility. So, who gives a shit what they said?
But wait a minute, Dialect.
Hip Hop Bible though, man. If they gave you 5 mics,
I agree with you.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Then they just fell off the fucking map.
Correct, but during this time, they were legit.
Before Benzino became a rapper, it was awesome. It was great.
Benzino's been rapping a long time now. Benzino been rapping since.
They still trash.
Still
trash. Still trash.
Stop.
Next.
Almighty RSO was dope, man.
Hey, I'm sorry. So Dialect, did you just say that the Source used to give out 4 mics, and then with this album they increased it to 5 mics?
The Source gave them 4.5 mics when they first came out, the infamous. Then in 2004, they went back and changed it to a 5-mic album, making it a hip hop classic. But it should have been 5 mics out the gate.
Huh.
And I'm guessing they did that because, like I said, they were new cats.
The Source is trash.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna say that, but like I said,
he said yeah. He said yeah. Trash, bro. Trash, B.
It was
trash.
A magazine that introduced a lot of unsigned hype. Biggie got signed from that.
The Source is like that artist.
From that,
the Source was like that artist that comes out. He's dope, right? He got 2 albums, then he just fucking goes fucking left field, right? He just goes the other way with some bullshit. That's what they did.
The Source wasn't whack until they started beefing with Eminem. That's when they got a little off of the track, and then they just never returned back to their glory days.
Yeah, then what was it? I guess they started paying for mics.
You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened to the Source. The magazine started filling it up with so much of the advertisements instead of the real, authentic hip hop articles. Like they was no longer giving you the street stuff from Red
Trash. That's what I'm saying.
Or what is those guys? Leaders of the new, not leaders of the new school. What's those guys' name that was out in Jersey? They were hot.
I know you're talking about Lords of the Underground.
Lords of the Underground. You wasn't getting. You wasn't getting none of that. You was getting Timberlands. You was getting fake chains and all the rest of that junk. And you know what? They couldn't survive without the advertisement because there was such a, you know, a ghetto magazine. And that's what happens when you gotta pay to survive. Some of the authenticity gets thrown to the trash, and that's what I'm mad.
Yeah, it's fucking trash.
Yeah, let's jump into hip hop birthdays now. So that was the last album, Infamous. Shout out to Havoc and R.I.P. Prodigy. So this right here.
There you go. There's your boy. Did you get him a cake, Dave? You get him a gift?
Boy, thanks, man.
I served some pussy.
I don't believe you.
That's all.
I don't believe you. Video or it didn't happen.
Like I said, man, Dope MC, man. I just wish he just kept going, man. Because I think now is the time for him to come out, man. With a lot of what he was doing back in the day, a lot of these underground cats is doing now, and I could hear him jumping on the Griselda track. I could hear him jumping on some joints with 38 Special. So I think now's the time that he needs to come back out, man.
Oh yes, definitely. Right now, his ghetto smoothness would be, he was like the hood R&B star almost with his.
Yo, Drake is fucking trash, Dominic.
No, I ain't messed with Drake in a while, but he got some hits too.
Early days Drake. That actually, you know what? You can liken the Source magazine to Drake, right? You come out. You before you get with the majors, you sound real good. You got skills. You do this and that, and then next thing you know, you go left and you're fucking trash.
You want to know something? The fans made Drake trash because he said he was just doing a Michael Jackson bit with that slide song, and then everybody started out here. They going to do a slide challenge or whatever the hell it is. They ruined Drake more than anybody else.
He ruined himself.
I don't know. Drake got some.
Bro, when you go from the bars that you was spitting at the beginning, right? And then now you hear what the fuck he's doing. Yo, somebody's writing that. He's not writing that. And if he is writing that, shame on him.
Okay.
I think
me on that.
I think Drake writes his lyrics, man. I'm one of the few people that believe he writes his lyrics. Because I always go back to his beef songs. His beef against Meek Mill and against Pusha T.
Well, the kid got beaten up for the beef with Meek Mills. The back-to-back, Quentin got a beating because everybody said he wrote back-to-back.
Yeah, Drake's
right.
a writer.
So that's my point.
I think Drake writes his stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that Drake doesn't have the ability. Drake has the ability. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he did what the Source did. He started, making that money. Right. He you know what I'm saying?
I'm a quote Jay-Z on this, man. I don't like to take a commercial rap stance, but men lie, women lie, numbers don't, man. The numbers. If he's whack, man, the numbers will be dropping. Dudes still.
Well, then don't say you're the greatest either. Don't tell me you're the greatest when everybody's writing your shit.
Never said he's the greatest, but I mean,
no, he said he was the greatest.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. He's making his money. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
No one's better than Kanye West. Just put that out there right now, right?
There you go.
Next birthday. Right here. Celebrating a birthday on April 28th. Short dog.
Is that Micah?
Too short.
That's Micah Mitchell. No, stop.
Come on, man.
Yo, Too Short. How old is he?
Damn, he's 1966. So he got to be like, what, 54, right? Yeah,
wow. Biatch.
Wow.
Bay Area legend, man.
You know your icon when your claim to fame is biatch.
Right.
Yo, Dominic, Kanye West will eat Drake. Trust
me. Easy money. Easy.
Yeah, you talking about Kanye and Drake. Dave, you probably know this. What was the reason that Jay Prince told him not to go at Kanye or respond to Pusha T? What was the rumor behind that?
Well, the bottom line is
Pusha T murdered Drake and that shit.
Kanye's supposed to have spread some word about what's going on with the man and his child. And so Jay Prince was telling Drake that, look, you don't even have to reply to them because, you outselling them. But doesn't mean he was making better music than them. He was just outselling them.
Did you just say that? Dave, did you just say that?
Yes. Yeah. He's
wow.
not making Kanye West beat
from a guy that's about hits.
Yes. Yes, Kanye.
Yo, let me tell you what, Kanye West, they can say what they want about him. When it's all said and done, everything that man said he's gonna do, he's done, and he's still doing it.
Wait a minute. What are you saying? We agreeing with each other that Kanye's got the
no doubt about it.
He ain't got about it. He's not outselling Drake. He's not outselling Drake because he's in the fashion. If he was to concentrate on music like Drake concentrate on music, Kanye would probably be the biggest hip hop artist ever.
Certified.
In my opinion, when it's all said and done, and you look at the track record, Kanye West, genius. Say whatever the hell you want about him.
Absolutely. His beats alone makes him a genius.
Yep.
Yo, Don Juan, why you skip that comment, man, about how Too Short looks like you without glasses? Post that.
Then we went from Paul Pierce to motherfucking Too Short.
She said basura. That's trash.
Basura.
Juan Mac with the Spanish lessons. You all didn't know that. Let's get to that next birthday, man. The final one for tonight. This dude,
man, that was
turned 50 years old today. Turned 50 years old this week. Master P.
Yeah, I would never. You know what? Loved his game. He was a good businessman. The music I wasn't into.
No business.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all diss him. Go ahead.
I mean,
no. Let me guess. New York was riding on Master P too.
Mr. Ice Cream Man.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, you got to remember though, when Ice Cream Man came out, that song percolated for like 2 years and became like a hit like 2 years later. Independent.
Bout It ran New York for a period of time. I'm about it. You bout it. We bout it.
And your boy Killer Cam remade it too, I think, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Killer Cam remade that. I mean, Master P, like I said,
Yeah, well, happy birthday.
Never was a fan of his.
Happy birthday.
Never was like a fan of I like No Limit. You know, just
you didn't like No Limit. Stop it.
Man, come on, he changed the game, man. I mean,
yeah, stop it. You did not like the same diamond encrusted fucking record covers every release. Stop it.
100 million in hip hop before Drake.
Yo, did I laugh at the video? Some of the videos when they came out, like when Moby Dick was singing I always feel like somebody's watching me. Shit was funny to me, man. I mean, when
he was a hell of a businessman, though. I'll give it to him.
When Silk the Shocker never stayed on the beat, that shit was funny to me, man. I mean,
introduced the world of Mystical.
Yeah.
How about that?
No, Mystical been out before that. Mystical been out before that. With the boot camp click. He had his own boot camp click. And the real boot camp click shut that down.
Good. Shout out to BDI, Juha, and the 5 foot what's his name, 5 feet, and Evil D. Shout him out.
Yeah, but shout out definitely, man. I appreciate Master P though, man, for his business mind, the way he was able to take, the music that he did and build this empire, man. And, I mean, he was able to sign cats like Snoop Dogg, save Snoop Dogg's life too, man. I mean, Master P put out movies, gave the world Little Romeo. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and he played in the NBA. He was in
the NBA. One bad move, dialect. He made one bad move.
We'll try out for the Toronto Raptors.
No, introducing the world of Romeo.
Okay.
There's a lot of Romeo fans out there that's going to hate on you, Dave.
I look forward to it. I don't want to know him.
Send all comments at Dave Simonism.
And you know what's funny? It's like Master P may not have been as talented as a lot of the typical lyrical rappers and all that stuff, but his shit was moving so much that the record labels had to offer him such a deal because his music was moving. They're like, yo, we gonna make money off this dude. Let's just give him the best deal possible. And he was able to build this empire, man. I mean,
who made a better movie, dialect? Who made a better movie than Bout It? The movie where him and friendly.
No, I Got the Hookup. I thought that was dope.
Oh man, I don't know. I like Bout It, man. That was hard. That was Shotas before Shotas.
Okay. Yeah, man. But shout out to Master P.
Yeah, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Master P, man. Architect, you don't sound like you were a fan.
Nah, not at all.
Not even a fan of him being a businessman.
Businessman, great. Music, Happy birthday.
Make him say with some heat though, man. It was
Happy birthday.
Listen, remember though, Architect, remember, back when Master P was doing it, he was giving you money's worth. I mean, he would put like 50 songs on a CD. No one else was doing it.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And he had the craziest album covers too, man. He was like
diamonds.
It was the same shit with the bullshit diamond encrusted. Come on.
No one was doing it. No one was doing it. That's innovation.
It was ghetto, and that's why I loved it.
And
kudos to the business, the music. Happy birthday.
Now I'm gonna stay on this topic because it's getting you mad. But Master P, man, that video for make him say I never understood the relevance of it, man. I mean, the tank on the basketball court.
I told you, no limit soldier. I thought I told you. No.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. So that's it for hip hop birthdays, man. So
shout
out to Master P,
next,
Lloyd Banks.
Happy birthday, guys. Next.
3 dope MCs, man. 3 dope MCs. I would like to hear a compilation of all 3 of them. Too Short, Master P, and Lloyd Banks.
Yeah, I can do without that. Happy birthday.
In that as well.
An IG battle between Master P and Diddy.
No. Diddy would eat him. Eat him alive.
You need a No Limit versus Cash Money.
Yes.
That'll probably be dope.
That would definitely pop. That would pop. But I don't know that I'd be interested, but it'll pop.
You know, unfortunately, this week we lost
Steezo.
Hip hop. I guess you call him hip hop legend. Steezo passed away.
And you know what? On that show, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it looks like he stole the whole imagery.
Who's that?
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air stole the whole imagery from that guy Steezo's first joint.
What do you mean, the show or the album?
Yeah, the show where the funny drawings and outlines of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you can compare it to exactly what Steezo's album was looking like.
Wow, that's actually pretty much facts.
But I know Benny Medina was Steezo signed on Warner Brothers.
I can't say for sure.
Yeah, because I think that
oh, really? We're looking at somebody's desktop now.
Yeah, Don Juan, yeah.
What's going on here? Yeah, click on the porn site that you. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. The other guys.
What you got there? Let's see. What you got, Juan? Let me see.
Yeah, but Dave, it's like you mentioned, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Do you know who Benny Medina first approached to play the role?
Give me 1 second. Was it Kid from Kid and Play?
Nah, me and you had a discussion about this like 10 years ago when you called this guy the perennial loser of hip hop.
I don't even remember.
Queensbridge MC. Original Queensbridge MC.
Shan?
Yeah. Shan was approached to play that role originally.
Shan was 40 years old at the time.
Come on, man.
You're trying to tell me, man, he's gonna be Uncle Phil's nephew?
Yeah, but why was Shan the loser though? Why did you consider Shan the loser? Because KRS busted that ass.
Yeah, because
for the remainders of the genre of hip hop, the bridge is over, and that will never stop. That will
ever.
That's just it. Yo, let me tell you something. Nas, he ain't never ever brought that up. The fact that the bridge was over and he brought it back, because straight up and down, he was the one that everybody recognized Queensbridge as true hip hop seniority.
Yeah, he brought it back. He brought Queensbridge back.
Absolutely, and he never brought it up. That's what makes him so great.
Yeah, because he kind of like, once you can't, anybody coming out of Queensbridge.
That's why Illmatic's the best album of all time.
Whether it was Nature, Core Mega, Mobb Deep, who else? Screwball. Anybody coming out of Queensbridge got love because of that.
Yo, Dave, you're gonna stop Stephen A. Smith and me around here, all right?
Nah, I'm just saying. Let's take a look at the Snoop Dogg album.
Yeah,
Gin and Juice. Let's go through that. Let's track by track, and then you talk about greatest albums. We gotta say top 5 of anything, man.
Nah, best album of all time.
We kind of got off topic though. Let's talk about Steezo.
God bless the dead. Yes.
Yeah, from a pistol wave in New Haven, Connecticut.
And
Yo, so Steezo, that first track we used to before we had the before we got the SK5 sampler, the little Casio joint.
Mm-hmm.
We used to do pause sampling. So you take the tape, you put the joint. Yo, Dave, you nailed it with that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on that album cover, brother. But we used to take the tape, play the joint. We had the a blank tape on the other side, rock the beat, and hit pause on the blank tape side, rewind, go back to the beginning, play that joint, unpause. Yo, we was looping, pausing the tape, and we got the beat long enough to where we could actually rhyme to it. So that's why Steezo holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, he also he got his start as a EPMD dancer. He was one of the dancers
In the background, nasty.
Yeah, nasty, man.
Don't get it twisted. Your boy used to get down too now. So you know. Oh yeah, the Soul Brothers, Scoop and Scrap. Like I followed them.
Another one, rest in peace. Which one died? Scoop or Scrap?
I think Scoop and Scrap are both alive.
No. One of them passed.
I know.
You sure about that?
Big Scoop is still around because I follow him on Facebook. He goes by Johnny Famous now.
Okay, then Scrap is the one that God bless the dead.
I mean, look that up, man. I don't want to be calling death for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you think I can to make things up?
Here, this one I want to say to you. Are you, because I'm trying to get into the head of David Simon. Are you talking about Trouble T-Roy?
Who did he dance for?
He danced
for Pete Rock. Heavy D, right.
I think that's who you're trying to refer to because he passed away.
He danced for Heavy D? He was a Heavy D boy?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's who I'm talking about.
I should be a mind reader. I knew exactly where you were at with that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, where's David Simon going with this? I was like, okay, dancer that died. I was like, Trouble T-Roy. So I was like, okay, that's who it had to be. So,
shout out to Scrap. He's still here.
Yeah, Scrap still here, man. Scrap.
God bless you.
Dave, man, you had to get it together over here, man.
They're telling people he died. He's still alive, man.
And he was Heavy D in the Boys.
He was heavy. He was the Boys. Yeah,
he was the boy. You know, one of them died. It's the boy now, not the Boys.
And that song is a dedication to him from Pete Rock and CL Smooth. They reminisce over you, T-Roy.
That's right. That's
classic song too.
Yes, it is. You never know what happened to Pete Rock and CL Smooth if they would have stayed together.
Okay,
maybe it would have been bigger.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, did you guys get a chance to check out the article on Black Thought? You know, talking about his influences.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you surprised about who he said? He started off, of course, with
Fresh Prince.
But being from Philly, yeah, I'll have to say, you know, somebody coming out of your town, being so big as he was.
Yo,
I see that.
Listen, the Fresh Prince first album when he had Ready Roxy in that joint, they had some gems in there.
Yeah,
and lyrically, he was killing it for that time period.
Yeah,
he was really doing his thing, so I can understand why he would feel that way.
Then his second album with Brand New Funk, man, that was crazy, man. I mean, him spitting on that was fire, man.
What shocked me was that he ran with Beanie Siegel and knowing the thug Beanie was.
That was crazy. Back in the third or fourth grade, like him and Beanie Siegel was in the crew. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that was shocking.
But just
the joint with Ready Roxy, when Ready Roxy was doing the shit backwards and playing underwater. Remember that? When he was beatboxing? That's my favorite joint off the first Fresh Prince album. But yeah, I wasn't surprised that Black Thought, it was Fresh Prince and was Schoolie D.
Schoolie D, yeah. Schoolie D.
Much respect, as it should be.
And of course, you know, G-Rap, Kane, KRS, Grandmaster Caz, and Spoonie G. I heard the name, don't remember any tracks from Spoonie G.
You don't know no tracks from Spoonie G?
Nah, name one for me. I know Schoolie D. Schoolie D had that hard joint, man. It kind of sounded like something that Ice-T would have rocked over.
Give me a second. I'll tell you in a minute.
All right, but
let me get on Google real quick.
I mean, I definitely hear the Cool G-Rap influence in Black Thought, though. Definitely Cool G-Rap, Big Daddy Kane, and KRS-One.
Black Thought's my number one. That's my GOAT.
consistency, man. I mean, lyrical consistency. Dude is so nice that these underground cats is throwing him on joints now, man. Like he's on Freddie Gibbs' album. He's rocking with Benny the Butcher.
Look, and he's on late night television. He's on mainstream. Come on, man.
That's more crazy.
That's integrity.
I mean, when he did that joint on what's that show? Funk Flex.
Spoonie G, The Godfather. That's it. And also Love Rap. That's another one. Spoonie G. You heard that one?
Yeah, but I agree with what the article said, man. What Crooked Eye was saying that Philly produced a lot of dope MCs, even going back to
3 times dope.
3 times dope, yeah. Larry Lair,
Cool C, Steady B.
Steady B. Yeah, man. Dope MCs coming out of Philly, man. And that's
and don't forget the high top fade. Let us not forget the high top fade.
And the onesie overalls.
Some of the best DJs too came out of Philly, man. The Mid,
Yep.
Jeff. What's the guy? Tap Money.
Tap Money. That's one of my favorite DJs.
Yeah, he was down with he was down with 3 times dope, and I think
and he was Steady B. Yeah, he was that whole clique. He was DJing for that whole clique, Steady B as well.
And I think he also went on to work with Kwame too, if I'm not mistaken.
I could see that.
Yeah. So yeah, man, Philly produced some legends, man, and Black Thought, man, definitely, man. To me,
that's my GOAT.
Lyrically consistent. I remember a long time ago at Howard. This is another Howard story. I was freestyling in the dorm, 96. One of the security guards came to me and said, "Yo, no disrespect, man, but you know who you sound like?" I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "That guy from the Roots." And I was like, "Okay, I mean, thank you." But you know,
yeah, disrespect.
I didn't think it was disrespect. I thought, you know, Black Thought. I thought Black Thought was dope, but there was so many other MCs out at the time, and to hear that, it was kind of rare. You know what I'm saying? And to see who he is today, I was like, damn, you know, I must have been ahead of my time. You know?
Yo, you think you can recite something right now to make us say the same thing?
I'm very protective. Keep in mind, I'm an artist, man. I'm protective of my shit.
You know, I don't know about the audience, but I want to hear some dialect and I want to hear some dialect architect or architect dialect type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably jump off over here.
Yeah, I get something queued up, man. Maybe in a couple of episodes.
Thank you, sir.
Play some joints.
Not a problem.
Yeah. I love it. Yo, respect. You know, I used to be able to judge if you was good or not. You know. I don't know now. I think I suck now.
I mean, yo, Dave, you heard me wrong before though.
Did I?
You did, because I remember you had a guest coming in on your show, and you was like, "Yo, I want you to battle this guy." Like you kind of wanted me to. I ain't trying to call you out, but yeah, you did. You did want me to freestyle one time because you said this guy was coming in. I do.
Did you? No, did you?
I did it on the show. I didn't do it on the show.
Okay, so how can I know that you spit if you didn't do it on the show?
But I rhymed to you before. I remember that.
I don't know. I would have remembered that. I would have said, "Oh, yo, my man died like he got some lyrics." I would have tried to sign you.
But I could vouch.
You started your label.
I could vouch for Architect 7 though. I heard Architect 7 rhyme before, and he's dope.
Okay. And yo, Dominic, if you're still out there, check my man out. All right.
Dominic knows.
Okay.
Hey, Dominic, why don't you call in? The lines are open. Don't forget, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, don't forget to hit the like page button or the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. And by the way, go ahead and call in. Lines are open.
Yes. Where's Diva? I miss her already.
Okay. Yeah, so shout out to Black Thought.
She gonna pop up. She's finishing that bottle.
Easy. Oh,
so Dave, I want to get your opinion on this, man. What do you think about the article about Ghostface Killah being responsible for all of the beats on the final Wu-Tang album? How did you feel about that?
Yo, I'm with Master Killer. I trust Ghost, but I want RZA to do it.
I agree, man.
RZA beats, man. On the real, what he did that other night against Premier just reminded me all of the step by step. You see, that's what made RZA great. He put a piece here, a piece there. He put like 30 pieces to a track, and not many producers do that.
Yeah, it's like RZA just had this skill, man. Whether it was a slow beat or a fast beat, like you just going back to the first time you heard Cream, it was just so perfectly put together, man. I mean, beat wise, lyrics, everything, man. I mean, just talk about Protect Your Neck when that first came out. We ain't never seen anything like that. A 9-man crew and everybody nice in that crew.
Absolutely, and not only that, and at the time of sampling that RZA and Wu-Tang came out, everybody was sampling old soul songs, and that's what I think Ghostface would sample, old soul songs. RZA went to the Orient. He got some Asian music and influenced the whole Wu-Tang style, and that you're just not going to find. You're not going to find anybody else that's going outside of the norm of the culture of American culture, soul music, and trying to implement the music of another what would you call it? Another I don't want to say country, but another form of music.
Yeah, you see, like all great things come from the mind. You know what I'm saying? And that came from that whole Wu-Tang came from the mind of the RZA.
Absolutely.
You gotta say the whole group, the whole sound.
Well, now we was just complimenting the Wu-Tang saga, and as you've seen, that Ghostface was very influential with the Kung Fu movies.
But you remember, the RZA was a go. He had to convince everybody else that this would be successful. RZA knew it would be successful if they all came together. He had the vision,
and he also convinced them to sign to him.
Correct, and he also he knew it was going to be something great because the thing is, prior to Wu-Tang coming out, us being from New York, we never really spoke about Staten Island like that. You know what I'm saying? We knew
it was a part of New York. I thought it was a part of Jersey.
But when they came out, man, everybody was talking about Shaolin, Sue. We was doing all that stuff, man. I mean,
he even gave King Just a hit.
Yeah, what's that? The Warriors.
Hey y'all.
I don't know if RZA produced that. I don't even know.
No, I didn't say he produced it. I'm saying by the Wu-Tang being so big, King Just was able to come out.
Correct.
Yo, King Just, the Warriors drum.
Yeah, because you're right. Because Staten Island was so big, anybody coming out at that time. I mean, I think Shaheem was affiliated with them. He came out and got a deal too. But like you're right, because Wu-Tang put Shaolin on the map, and those two housing projects, was it Park Hill and Stapleton?
That's right.
Anything coming out of there, people was like, yo, we got to sign him.
You just assumed that King Just was Wu.
You did because he said Shaolin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but you're right, man. I mean, all of that came from the mind of the RZA. Absolutely. If you're gonna do the last album, you got to give it to the Abbott. You know what I'm saying?
Why it got to be the last album? I don't know.
It's not the last album. Cut the shit.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You hear those old rock groups like Led Zeppelin and Rolling Stones. This is the last one. This is the final tour, and they end up getting back together and making more music.
Yo, and speaking on that, man, I like the fact that we're starting to see that the older artists got that lane at this point. Like they still able to rock. There was a moment in time, it was getting to a point where people was calling out age and all this other shit. And now you're seeing that lane is open for the older heads.
Yeah.
And it's good because I'll say it again, and you'll probably hear me say it even after this broadcast. All of hip hop is not 15 through 25.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, man, like Wu-Tang, I think a lot of these underground cats that's out today need to pay homage to them, man, because a lot of that sound that they're doing right now, whether it be Griselda, 38 Special, who else, man? Like Rock Marciano, you know what I'm saying? That smooth beats and grimy lyrics. Wu-Tang Clan.
Yo, it's never went anywhere. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? We too many people they want to harp on what's being on the radio and what's getting the mainstream light. The thing is, it's never went anywhere. It's always been here. You know what I'm saying? It's about your passion and where you look for it. It's there.
You shout out to K Beta. That's a good example of a crew that came out from Staten Island before Wu-Tang became famous. The UMCs. Remember they had the joint called Blue Cheese and One to Grow On?
I wasn't a fan of it.
Yes, sir.
Didn't they have that blackface as their logo or
no, that was KMD with MF Doom. That was KMD.
Oh, I wasn't with that.
But one of the cats from UMC, I think Haas G, he went on to form a production team, Phantom of the Beats, who also did some tracks for Wu members too. So definitely, yeah. But you see, when they came out, we didn't even know they was from Staten Island. But when Wu came out, they made it known they were from Staten Island. And back then, artists wanted to get branded with a label. Wu-Tang was so dope. Every label wanted to be branded with the W. That's how
Yo, you know the crazy shit. So not to jump, it's not really off topic. It's on topic.
Mhm.
It's kind of ill, you know. Now, and when you go to the grocery stores, at least out where I'm at, they're making it mandatory that you wear a mask if you go in.
Mhm.
So I looked up. I'm like, if I'm gonna have to wear a mask, I want my shit to be fresh. You know what I'm saying? First thing that popped up was a fucking Wu mask
Oh, wow.
with the filter, the whole shit on their website.
Let me say, compliments to the Wu because they are jumping on what they had garnered from that heat, the heat they garnered from that battle with Premier. Everybody started talking that woo this, and they said, you know what? Let's get together and let's put some new music together and strike while the iron's hot. So compliments to them. You know what I'm saying?
It's a cult following, baby. They never gonna go down.
But I do agree with Master Killer on two things. One, the RZA needs to be involved with the production. And two, if they're going to record the music, they all need to be in the room together, man. So it could be a collaborative effort, not somebody coming.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like being in the same room together and catching that vibe.
But last I heard, I think Raekwon was having a little dispute with the head of the Wu-Tang, which was B RZA.
Yeah, we got a call. So, Beware, what's up?
Yo.
What's going
What
on?
up, B?
Yo.
What's going on, man?
Where you calling from?
Yeah.
That's VA.
That's from VA. Okay. Shout out to Beware.
What's going on with my mic here?
I got
What's
you.
going on, brothers?
We hear you. We hear you.
All right now.
It's super dark out this motherfucker. Yo.
Beware. Welcome.
Yes, sir. What's going on? What's going on, guys?
You chilling?
Finally,
Man.
nice
right
to
now.
report.
Oh my God, I always miss it, bro. I swear to God. And I'm gonna be honest. It's not that I'm busy. I wasn't doing shit. I just kept missing it. I look up at the time like, fuck, it's 3:00 in the morning. Why? Didn't they have a thing today? Yeah. I can't remember what day it is. I've been in the fucking house so long. You know, I'm looking around like, yo, what day is it? It's Saturday. All this shit feel like Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, man. Crazy. What's going on with y'all? I've been listening, checking y'all out, man.
Yeah, we chilling. We just talking about
This nigga
Wu-Tang.
turning on the light. Go your little ass to bed, bro. Yeah. They don't know what day it is either. They ain't been to school in so long. They don't know what the hell going on. Man.
That's real. That's real. Right now, everything is just all the same. It's all
the same.
But Joe, this is what we asked for, right?
Together.
Didn't we ask for this? We asked for this.
Yeah.
Not the circumstances.
I stopped my regular job before all of this had happened, so I was already kind of feel like retirement mode. I mean, I'm still working. I just don't work for nobody else. But yeah, this shit is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Y'all doing good? Y'all doing good? Ain't nobody coughing on here, man. I'm glad to see you, brothers. I'm glad to see you, brothers. This is it. Look, you don't even want to cough now. Yeah, it's like shit. Man. Yeah, man.
But yo, this is what we asked for, right?
Like, yo, you've been distancing for 15 years. I knew I kind of do stay away from people anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this shit is crazy. I don't know what the hell going on. I don't know whether to believe this shit or not, bro. I don't know.
I don't believe it. I'm not gonna lie.
Not believe that it's real, but believe that this shit probably already been here for a while.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel.
My generation. I just wish it'd skip my generation. Not
They want us to believe. They want us to believe that CNN and all these news networks follow that shit into the country. Man. Lies.
I don't know. I'm not bold enough to be out there without no motherfucking mask on. Something fishy about this shit still. I'm still trying to wait a minute. Now y'all want to open this shit back up? Hold up. How many people died yesterday? They not talking about that no more.
Hey,
now just want to open shit up.
Hey, beware. Is your phone 4G?
But God damn, this shit, yeah. Fuck that. Wait a minute.
Hey, beware. Is your phone 4G or 5G?
Yeah, man. This shit's scary.
Is your phone 4G or 5G?
People are dying, but people been dying before this shit too. I don't know.
That's exactly it.
I got so much nigga in me, man. I've been, every time we walk out the door from the time we 14 years old, there's a chance we may not come back. You know what I'm saying? So shit,
Mm.
man.
But Lisa, at that time, you seen your enemy or someone.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. We see. Yeah. Now this shit just in the air.
yeah.
It's the
Or is
same
it?
enemy though. It's the crazy part.
Or
This
is
shit just
it?
in the air now. Like, man, we
Or
can't
is
kill him
it?
like that. Let's try to get him like
Is
this. But
hey
fuck,
yo, is it in the air or is it on the network?
man.
Yo, man, I don't know. Listen, since the Pentagon Papers, I don't think that the news can actually describe cases and deaths without being somewhat accurate to the point. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
They can't do like I do and say,
Yo,
Scuba
the CN, yo,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the news is paid for
yeah. Yo, the
advertisement by
911
whatever
papers
party.
that was after the terrorist the Pentagon Papers. Was that about 911?
No, that was Vietnam.
Vietnam. Okay.
Were saying that there was a limited deaths out there, and then when the papers got released, we seen the facts that we were losing maybe 3 to 4 to 1 to the Vietnam.
Yeah.
So, and that's the key component. That's what makes the news very important. That even though that they instill fear with the cases instead of the deaths, like because the deaths are at 60,000, but the cases is at 2 million. So you just don't want to be one of those individuals that die in the 60,000, and you don't want to be one of the ones that get the case of the 2 million.
Of the 2 million, yeah.
Yo,
yeah.
and then you so busy not wanting to
the
go
media
outside.
definitely plays a good part. I mean, they play a big part in the information thing, and I think that having different networks is good and different points of view. You're gonna have some right wing and some left wing. I think it's all good, but I think you still have to read between the lines on all of them. But it's scary. It's scary how, like, we've been saying fake news for how long now? That shit ain't some fake ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But now this motherfucker says it, and it's like, oh yeah, it is fake news. Like, no, wait a minute now. Now some of this shit, like only the fake shit is like, only the fake shit is when they say something bad about him. It's like, nah, dog, that ain't. It's more to it than that. But yeah, man. Once they control the information, they control what you can say and what you can't say. It's a lot of that shit is scary.
It's facts.
It's facts. That's what Hitler did. He controlled the media.
Propaganda.
Propaganda.
It's facts
He controlled
that news
that shit. Like,
networks
the government's
are
controlling
infiltrated
the
by
news from now. Once they say that, oh, this shit gonna be fucked.
Okay, architect, I understand what you're saying. That
it's
is
facts.
It's best that they feed us the information that they want. It's like that the whole UFO thing was at an opportune time to come out right now with the UFO, where we so concerned about catching COVID-19. We can't. There's little green men running around or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We say we don't care. We hope COVID kill them too.
But Joe,
man, I
but for
swear
the most
to God,
part,
I said the same thing. I said it's real convenient for them to put that out now because it's not going to attract the mass hysteria that it would have if, you know what I'm saying. But
we was watching the Knicks and said, "Oh, there's some Martians."
Like,
but
really,
Joe,
they got pictures of that shit? I mean, I knew because I think I came from there.
but Joe,
I think I came
look,
from there. But
we are
I've
hip
always
hop.
had that. I've always believed in it. You know what I mean?
That's
always
what I'm saying.
because it's just hard for me to believe where the universe is vast is this, that we're the only galaxy, the only planet that we're the only planet in our galaxy that can sustain life that we know of, right? So it's
we don't know
galaxies we
shit.
can't even see. Like
we don't know shit.
It's far-fetched for me to say no.
Hey, beware.
The odds are against it being no, but I don't know.
Hey, beware.
A couple things. Well, I in the I don't know if you guys are Muslim, but we're not gonna get into religion. But in the Al-Fatiha, the opening, it says Lord of the worlds, plural. You know what I mean? In Arabic and in its worlds.
Beware.
So that always kind of...
Hey, yo.
Say your piece.
Go ahead, Dad.
Yo,
architect.
Hey, yo. So remember when Pluto was the last planet? You remember when Pluto was the last planet? Remember that shit? That shit seems like a distant memory now, right? Think about all the other shit they've discovered at this point. So that just tells you we don't know what the fuck we think we know. We say things from a human perspective. We say things from a human perspective to make us understand it better and make it feel good to us. But we don't know shit.
But that's what makes science so great. It's always, you understand? Science can never stop. It stopped, and then we get COVID-19. So now we got to prepare for this, and we're trying everything in the book right now to create a vaccine or a cure for this. And then we still got to cure cancer. We still got to cure AIDS. Science will never stop. So the Big Bang theory is going to be actually true.
So Dave, this is my point on that, right? Let's do the same thing for every disease that man is dealing with, right? Let's put the scoreboard up. We don't have sports, so we might as well, right? Let's put a scoreboard up of every disease and every virus that man is dealing with at this point, and let's do cases and let's do deaths, and let's see who wins. Well, let's make it entertaining. Why don't we?
What are you saying? Heart disease, strokes, or diabetes?
Everything.
Damn, I can't hear John.
Everything.
I can't hear the architect.
Everything.
Hey, beware. Hey, try calling back in. We'll see if we get that connected for you, bro.
Okay, bet.
All right.
But the fact
Everything.
is, like what Dr. Phil was trying to get across that everybody criticized him for is that deaths are inevitable, and in America especially there is recklessness. He mentioned driving, he mentioned smoking and things like that have been causing deaths, and we don't even recognize it as much as we recognize in this COVID-19 situation. The bottom line is we as a people have to come to some realization that we have to be more careful with ourselves. Now, washing our hands shouldn't have had to been a campaign. We should have been doing that a long time ago.
Right.
Distancing ourselves from people that we don't know a long time ago. Now it's to the point where we're going to have airplanes with their seats turned backwards where, we're no longer going to be friends, actually, because we won't have time to communicate.
That's by design. That's by design.
Absolutely.
That's by design. And that's what I'm saying. So we've lived life. I don't know if you've ever tried to go on a cruise or anything like that, but if anybody that's ever tried to go on a cruise, you have to go down to a specific space where they're going to tell you that certain viruses in certain environments viruses exist in certain environments that you're going to visit, right? And they warn you of these particular viruses that exist, right? That's when you realize that at the end of the day, we're not the only organism on the planet Earth striving for survival. Just because we can walk and talk the bullshit we talk doesn't make us God. It doesn't make us.
Hey, architect. Hey, architect. Can I ask you a question? Yo, when since we started quarantining the healthy, when you quarantine people, you quarantine the sick. Yeah. But whenever since we start quarantining the healthy, why does the healthy have to stay in the house? That's something I don't understand.
This is what they're saying. They're saying that the virus doesn't. You could be asymptom and carry it, and not necessarily know you have it, and therefore they can't tell you're sick for 2 weeks, and then you can transfer someone that is
just like the flu, right?
Well, different than the flu. The flu actually you could show symptoms early.
Well, yeah. I mean, every virus is different.
Yes.
So every virus is different. You can't compare it. Like, I'm not trying to overstand and compare it to the flu, but why are we handling it more differently when the flu kills as much as people or more people? Like, why I'm healthy. Why do I have to stay in the house?
Because someone could be carrying it that you don't know, and they could transfer it to you. If it was,
But it's a proven scientific fact that when you isolate a human being, the immune system, you start getting depression, the body starts breaking down, because as human beings, we are made to interact with one another. Right?
It's right here, right?
Yeah.
That's it. It's right here and it's right here.
It's a mental.
You see what I'm saying? And so when you start telling people to stay in the house, you're taking away the vital element of human society, of human beings. We are made to communicate and interact with one another.
That breaks down our social structure.
That's it. It breaks down our immunity.
They recommend that you stay home. You can go out. You can take the risk.
Hey, Dave, I just want to say this right now, right? Okay, if you look at all of the studies, you get studies from Scandinavia, you get studies from Nova Scotia. You know what I'm saying? There are people who like when they quarantine and they be by themselves, There are more like okay.
I'm getting it right here from the corp on the camera.
You got, but look, you got people who are actually like the numbers don't match. The people who are actually catching the COVID, right? There are more people that are recovering from it more than they're showing the people who are dying from it. There are more people recovering from it. You don't see those facts throughout the world.
You know why? Because they can't tell you if those people will not suffer later on. Like they don't know how long the antibodies is going to be in that person. They don't know if that person can.
Yo, I don't know if I walk out of my house if I'm gonna get hit by a fucking bus.
It's the percentages are low on that.
The bottom line is we don't know.
Does a bus drive that? There could be someone walking past you with the COVID that you don't even know.
Hey, can I just say this one real quick? Hey, Beware, I love you, bro.
I love you too, bro. I love you too, Architect.
Hey, man, this social
distancing
at its best,
I can hear y'all now.
Hey, so this is my
go
thing.
ahead, I'm sorry.
No, so this is my thing, right? It's so convenient that we have to stay 6 feet apart. It's so convenient that you got to minimize no more than 10 people, right? It's so convenient, right? But at the same time, if you look at things that are being passed, they're snatching just incrementally, just snatching, dehumanizing us, taking away.
Do you think that's a governmental structure?
Okay, honestly, look, it's an election year. So everything you see.
I just want to ask Architect that real quick because Architect, I mean, I see you snapping his neck. That's yeah.
Yo, listen,
and Dave, I want to know
we
what
hip hop. We hip hop. We've been warned about.
Yeah, I
this.
think it's a one world order thing. I think it's more than one government. I didn't even cut you off, bro. I think it's a one world order thing beyond the government. But I think it's
happening.
Yeah,
and when you're looking at when people are starting to put out information that disrupts the narrative, why are they getting blocked? Why are they silencing them? That's called dissent, right? So they shutting them down and they moving them out of platforms, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you right.
YouTube joint,
So they want us to look at the TV. They want us to look at social media. That's where they want us.
Listen,
they don't want us congregating.
The fact scare people to want to take guns to their capital and demand to be set free or off of the stay home ordinance. But honestly, let's look at it. Smallpox wiped out an entire nation of Indians. So you don't know if this could be the return of smallpox and wipe out an entire nation. I mean, the ones that suffer the most are our African Americans, brothers and sisters.
What about swine flu? What happened with the swine flu?
Oh, it's still killing people.
Yeah, but it wasn't airborne. You see, it wasn't airborne.
Yeah.
I don't think swine flu was one that.
So let me ask you this.
And the percent.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay for us to go through the drive-through. It's okay for us to go to the grocery store, right? It's hold up. Hear me out. So why can't we go to the fucking salon with masks and gloves? Why can't we live life with masks and gloves? Why is the virus that smart?
But you know why?
You can catch that shit with a mask on.
Because it's the reality that they creating. We were born into their reality. They create this reality for us. So we indoctrinated so much to the point where when we born, you're black, you're white, you're whatever, you already put in the box.
You gotta listen.
Yeah.
They already put you in the box.
This world was here before we got here. And things occurred before we got here. So the only thing that they can do is go on what occurred in the past and try to say, look, this is what the statistics are. You can take it. I mean, you showed the picture of Fredericksburg today, down in VA, where they were all.
Yo, that shit was not. I thought that wasn't real, was it? Tell me that wasn't real.
Nah, leave him alone, Architect. That was real. That was downtown Fredericksburg.
Not fucking real. No, it wasn't.
That was downtown Fredericksburg.
I swear to God.
Yeah. But that's news. That's how the news works, right?
Yeah,
that's how the shit works.
That's how the shit works, bro.
So if you follow me on,
that was fake news.
Yeah,
bro, we don't got blue water out here like that.
Ain't no
beaches
like
mud
that
out this bitch.
We got blue rivers out here like that.
I looked at,
He's a part of the problem. He's not a solution.
no, he's part of the solution
but you gotta
because he just
understand it
showed
though,
us.
Dave. Hey,
He
Dave,
showed us how
you
easy
gotta
it was.
understand it.
I live in Fredericksburg, and I looked at this shit for a second, like, where the fuck they at? I'm trying to
the
go.
thing
There
is,
ain't no goddamn Fredericksburg.
when we born into this institution.
Yeah,
It's by design,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The second we drop labels is the second we'll see reality. Until then, if you want to live under labels,
Bars,
that's where you're gonna be stuck.
Hey, you know what? Hey, architect. I always say that. Look, and I know I'm about to get off, of course, but that's how I handle my life. I don't treat nobody different. There's no labels. I understand I got a wife. I understand I got sons. I got a daughter. But I treat people how they supposed to be treated, how I want to be treated. There's no labels. So once you get rid of the labels, then you'll be able to live your life.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
And you'll be able to pass it on.
There are class stratifications. And as long as
the class that's what architect I think was saying. It's classified.
When that's the key component. If we realize what we are in a slave type of mentality. We work just to live. I mean, to pay our rent, to pay our car.
That's how you live. That's not how we live.
That's the only way we can live, unless we're wealthy. If you're not a wealthy individual,
what Bob Marley said. Hey, beware what Bob Marley said.
Hold on, which one? Redemption song?
He said, "Look, if you want to monetize it by wealth, by through the being of monetizing like money, then that's your wealthy. That's man-made. Me, this COVID. Look, this COVID bought my wealth better. My kids is in the studio right now, bro. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for this, you know what I mean? I can't take that away from it. You know what I mean? That's how I monetize my wealth. Through my family, through my investments.
Just like Bill Gates is buying up all of the bull stocks that are pretty much going low right now. Everybody else that is wealthy is buying those bull stocks right now. It's how those take advantage, find the silver lining in this dark cloud. But honestly, it's all for one purpose, and that is to perpetuate wealth throughout your family or throughout your lineage. It's not for you can't take.
And it's attainable though. It's attainable for a lot of people. They don't feel it's attainable. It's obtainable.
Yo,
we can make it happen.
Look, you know, this is the issue, right?
Some people have check to check.
What we are witnessing is a change and a shift in consciousness if you allow it to be as such, right?
That's a fact.
We have all at one point or another said, I wish I could not have to drive 1 hour and a half to get to work. I wish I could spend my days with my family. I wish I could be home and watch it all go down, right? And to some, this is a blessing. But then to many, this is chaos because why? You wake up, you drop your kid off at daycare. You don't deal with your kid.
Not used to.
You don't even know your kid. You don't even know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
You go to work, you play whatever role you got to play there. You go, you pick your kid up, you go home, eat dinner, go to sleep, rinse, wash, repeat, keep going and doing the same thing. There's people losing their mind because they got to raise their kid. Imagine that shit.
No.
Hey, bro. Hey, but architect, can I just say this one thing? And brothers, look, I'm an advocate of family. I raised all 5 of my kids. I took them to school, not my wife. I took them to school, dropped them off, picked them up, took them to my job when I was a martial arts teacher. Bought them, made sure that they learned the arts. So a lot of the parents that are doing what they're doing, I did 10 years ago, 15 years ago with my kids already. So I'm willing, prepared. See, I'm not the type who's going to send my kids to war and they're not war ready. Because they got to be war ready here.
We shouldn't be looking for war. We should be looking.
But
we in a war.
Sometimes to get peace, you need to be at war.
We've been in war for years.
We've been at thank you, brothers.
So if we have a warlike mentality, then we should be building a war chest. And the only way,
because your kids got to know how to eat. They got to know how to eat. They got to know how to defend themselves. They got to know how to shoot. Absolutely. They got to know all of that. And you can't you can't be at war. See, like, yo, this is Sun Tzu. This is the art of war. This is all of that. Yeah. And you know who taught me that? My brother Beware and the big homie. You know what I mean? A lot, like, that's why it's a blessing for me to be on this line right now, because this is my big homie on the bottom line right here.
It's like we breaking, like,
Yo,
the same thing
and that's
the
the
same
thing.
thing architect
I'll
was
go
saying.
back
It's
to
like,
it. We wish this. This is something we wanted for years. It's here.
For years.
It's here. Now it's up to the people. See, this is the thing. While we're over here bitching about these guys are up in the fucking state capitol with arms and stuff like that, maybe that's what people need to be doing. Maybe that's what needs to happen. I don't know.
It's kind of
Hey, architect, say that
I'm
again.
saying
That's anarchy, my friend. And you don't want anarchy. You don't want people to be activated off of fear.
Hey, can I say this one thing? Can I say this one thing? Our motto for Virginia is Sic Semper Tyrannis. Do you know what that means?
Please.
To go with the tyrant. Sic Semper Tyrannis.
But that's why you guys are also.
That's what our state has been built. That's what our country has been built.
So you actually don't practice the democracy that regular states practice. You understand? You create your own.
No. They don't
practice
the democracy. That's the thing, and that's what's starting to happen. You know, to Bolo's point, for me, I didn't really tote guns or nothing like that. I wasn't that type of cat. Like, I was with my hands. I rough it up, right? But it's getting to a point now where they starting to take too much from us as people. So what do I got to do? I got to defend. You got to fight fire with fire.
Okay. Yeah, look at them states that stand your ground rights.
Who's look at that? Who are you? Well, the stand your ground rights. Everybody protest against that. They think that has.
Why? But why? Look at it. Why? Why do you think that?
It's only chosen for a certain few. You understand? It's not chosen.
Well, who is that?
Those that can afford to purchase and bear arms. You understand?
We all can afford and purchase to bear arms, but who gets off?
Not all. We all can't, because our homeless population is growing rapidly, and now we all.
And why is that? Why is that, Dave? Why is the homeless population growing?
Because we're unemployed, we're unskilled, we're unprepared for what technology is brought upon us, and that is the
have you ever been to Canada? Have you ever been to Canada?
I've never left America. God bless.
Okay, look, bro, I've been to Canada. They take care of their peoples, bro. The homeless, they take care of their peoples. Their stimulus check is bigger than ours.
And you want to know what the common factor is in them taking care of their people, and what we don't like to do is pay taxes. They pay a majority of their income in taxes. And if you take the majority of income in taxes of people here, they lose their mind. You understand? 30%.
What you think? What you think that stimulus check gonna do?
They take a lot.
What is stimulus check gonna do?
They getting that back.
Yeah, we'll be paying more taxes.
They getting that back.
Hey, architect, am I lying or not?
They getting that back.
Is that going to come back on our taxes?
No,
we're not going to come back out of our taxes.
Yeah, they getting that back.
Before you get it back, they send this country to war. Before you get it back, they will build something out there like a stadium of some sort in your city, and they'll tell you that they pay a stadium for you to enjoy some sort of sport. You understand? The sport is the number one that they attacked, because what do sports figures normally do? They support the Democratic parties, and a lot of the times they put money into those things, and now they can't afford to because they're trying to take a percentage of their income. You understand? So now Biden, who is pretty much a what do they call that? A walking a dead duck or a boat.
He's fucking Weekend at Bernie's. That's what he is. He's Weekend at Bernie's. That's what the fuck. That's what the fuck it is.
They are not creating their politics. It's more theatric than it is actual democratic and democracy, and that's what's sad about it.
Hey, guess who our president is? What was he? He's a reality show.
Absolutely.
What do you think this is?
No. I'm not disagreeing totally, but what I'm saying here, as a people, you can't go off of the script just because you see that it's a big bowl of.
How you think? Hey, how you think that after the Boston Tea Party, what do you think happened? Motherfuckers went off script.
Went off script. Hey, look, I thought it was gonna be us. I was surprised to see the guys down there with the Confederate flags.
Why did they go off script?
I thought it was gonna be us.
Enough of this. Why did they say the British are coming? Why did they say all that?
I really thought it was gonna be us.
You know why it's dumb? Because they know, in fact, that there's no way that anybody with a right mind will vote for the Donald Trump administration. It's been in chaos They won.
And guess what? Guess who he went after first? The Migos, right? Who generates wealth. Their money turns around 3 times before it leaves out their community.
Right.
Before it leaves their community, that money turns around 3 times.
Yes. California.
So why wouldn't you go for those?
The sanctuary cities was the #1 target. You're absolutely
right. The Chinese.
Well,
look
listen,
at all that money. Who we
when
get
they put the tariffs on China and the farm system went pretty much belly up, and he had to give a stimulus package to the farm system his second year in office. You should have known right then and there it was a plot for him to take care of a certain sector. Then when he gave
let me ask you a question, Dave. Do you know? Can I ask a question, Architect? I'm sorry, my bad. Do you know that they're starting to kill off our agriculture?
It's done. It was done when
they already did that in Puerto Rico. They already did that in Puerto Rico. They already did that in my homeland.
Who's the #1 farmers?
Wow.
What is the farming race? The Caucasian. The #1 farming race is Caucasian and red and red states. Yeah. So they're taking care of their own. Where
especially in the mountain. No, but they're killing off their livestock.
They're not
you gotta realize, and they're killing. It's like the automotive industry. Like we all had the automotive industry here. Then we started outsourcing. So now what's happening now is that we're killing our agriculture and starting to outsource for plant-based.
Right. Yes, that's what everyone is going to, plant-based.
So
but now it's not going to just be here because they can do plant-based in Africa. They can do plant-based anywhere.
That's not what I'm saying.
America.
What I'm saying here is it's come for a decision of take care of your own. You have to take care of your own. And where we are failing as people.
So why are we paying taxes?
Because taxes go
but check me out. Check me out. Check me out. What did you just say? Is we got to take care of our own, right? We can't depend. Nobody's coming to save us, right?
That's what Cuomo's supposed to be doing.
We pay taxes so that they can take care of us. They're supposed to take care of us, right?
Right. But what you're saying here is that the way that they're taking care of us is not to your liking. And
they're not taking care of us.
They're not.
That's what I'm saying.
Us, yeah,
they never have.
Like when you can't test your population, when you can't provide the necessities that are needed in the healthcare system for people that are sick, when you can't provide the necessary needs, and by the way, you're waiting for things to come from China to be able to help us.
That's a problem. You're talking federal. Now, when all right, you want to?
It's all federal.
Let's talk federal. No, it's not. Some of it is local government. Let's talk facts. When
federal government says shut your shit down, guess what happens? They shut your shit down.
When Barack gone. The first mistake he said that they were saying that he made was that he actually saved the automobile industry, and he saved the stock market and all the rest of that. They're saying if Barack was and let it all collapse like what is happening now, then it would have been better because you can start off with better institutions in his 8 years. But now we have to depend on hopefully somebody that when we decide to open this stuff up, that all of the institutions we have is not crumbled completely. The union, but the healthcare,
look at what Barack did.
Security, and
what did he do? What did he do? What did he do?
What did he do? He killed Gaddafi. What you mean what he did, bro? He sent them drones in. He killed somebody who was trying to unionize a continent that was built off their own resources.
Yikes.
We're domestic here.
So a lot of people, look, Barack did more for the gays and the white people more than he did for us. So what do you think any financial institution gonna do for us when Barack didn't do for us? He killed Gaddafi, who was going to institutionalize a country that built off their own
shit went off the rails quick.
Yeah, he didn't have a choice though. He didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice.
None of the presidents have a choice.
They would have knocked.
They don't have a choice. We don't have that.
He didn't have a choice.
Beware, you taught me
that. They had to stop that. They had to stop that.
That guy up there, right there.
They had to stop that.
Small business had an opportunity under Barack. The lower income families had an opportunity with Barack. Where now,
Nah, man.
But look, he did
Really?
all businesses.
What he did do,
But that's bro. That don't matter. It don't matter who's in office. That's always the case. You
Yeah,
got to
that's the
remember,
case.
it takes Democrats and Republicans to sign off on these bills that go back into the economy.
Yeah,
See,
it's not the president. Yeah, it's definitely not the president.
When he won, of course, a week later, I wanted a white slave, but it didn't happen, and I know he couldn't do that, right? I know he couldn't reverse it. But for the justice system, what I can say, being a federal inmate at that time, with drug charges, and I didn't have a weapon on me with the drug charges.
Donald Trump doing the same thing too.
But it was already started. Barack did that. Barack and Eric Holder, they did that. So and they changed the crack laws. So a lot of people got out. They didn't have to pardon them. They changed the laws and they changed. He did do that, which was kind of slick how he did it. But
honestly, we're not selling crack no more. Now, when I say we, I mean as a people.
Yeah, no, of course we're not. But I'm talking about the I think a good way to subliminally help the urban community, I'm gonna say quotes when I say urban, is to change those fucked up laws that were made in the drug war. I think that was a real slick way, because he couldn't just out and out. But so many of us were affected by that. Not only were people that were selling it affected by it, people that did it, people's families, like that really affected.
Where's Barack from? Where's Michelle and Barack from though?
They from Chicago.
Yo, bro, look at Chicago.
But the outskirts. Hey, but man,
look at Chicago death rates, man.
Hey, but Bolo.
You know what I mean? I understand the crack rates. I understand everybody in the institutionalized, but no, bro, they from the murder cat.
They different though. They different, and
but you want to send a drone in for Gaddafi?
It's a war. It's a war up there, though, bro. It's a fucking war. That's different. It's different.
$1 for Barack to have his administration keep the country running. You understand? We are never going to see that 2.2 again. That's why they're saying Trump want to retaliate against China. That's fiction. We talking reality. People are going to lose their apartments, not big houses like they lost during Bush. Yeah. They're going to lose apartments, and that is unheard of. When the low income.
Well, the economy, you got to realize. Hey, Dave, can I just say this real quick? The economy for about 8 years has been going up. It has to stifle. This economy has been at the highest.
That's why the virus is here.
Exactly.
You got to get the crash.
Right on, architect.
Yes,
you got to get the crash.
It's been at the highest. So at one point in time, it's going to have to plateau.
Yeah. You got to create the drought and put the drugs back out there.
Every balloon pop, you blow it up too much. Yeah. Now, the problem, that's why Trump wanted to build a wall, because he thought that the Hispanic community was...
Now, he wanted to build a wall for the contractors, bro. That's money. Yeah. That's contracting.
Yeah.
That's contracting, bro.
I'm not saying that...
Don't let the media fool you, bro. That's contracting.
I'm saying this is the way that it was promoted to the people, because they want to explain when it bursts why it burst. He wants to blame this one, that one, and else. When nobody was listening to that.
Hey yo, hey Dave, how you think Trump got in office? How do you think he got in office?
They stole. Hillary Clinton won by.
What happened was the forgotten areas of America that voted for Obama the first couple times around didn't get what they were promised. So then they said we need the next guy that's giving us the best promise. That's what it was. If you look at the states that flipped, it was the same states that got Obama in.
Nobody was getting anything.
That's crazy.
Nobody's going to get anything,
and they still aren't.
What you can do,
they still aren't.
What you can do is protect yourself, and hopefully that you create enough economic stability where you can keep your apartment, where you can keep your family eating. That's all it is. Right now, if you can't feed your family, which people are saying that they would get more unemployment insurance than a job because they don't want to raise minimum wage, that's where the problem is. The problem is how we distribute the income that is being gained. And the wealthy is still taking it from the
So you got with socialism?
Hey, Dave,
you good with socialism? You good with socialism, Dave?
Hey, I'm not against a couple of entitlement programs. No, I'm not.
But ain't that what Castro did? Ain't that what Castro did?
That's what Canada did. That's what Canada did. There's entitlement programs in Canada. That's how the country.
We got them here too.
Very little. And to get it, you have to be practically. Well, listen, we've given it away. There were certain incidents where our entitlement was taken advantage of, and that's where
check me out. I'm a two-time Section 8 or two-time welfare. All right. At some point, things become excuses. Okay. At some point, you got to teach a man to fish. At some point, you need to teach a man to fish.
Excuses are for the weak and incompetent.
You have to teach a man to fish. If you keep giving me shit, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I came from that. But if you keep giving me shit and keep giving me shit and keep giving me shit, I'm gonna expect you to keep giving me shit.
Well,
if you accept it,
hey yo,
we're trying to get healthcare. That's all they're trying to get.
But look, check this out. I told y'all like before.
But then you run into issues where your government can't even manage for the veterans that have fought for your country. Now you want them to manage our health care? Come on, man.
Hold on. You're speaking to the point where if they can't give that to the veteran, where is it going? Where's the money going? Because you know what? My president Donald Trump ran a charity for the veterans. You know, the veterans that he ran it for still didn't receive the income that was supposedly raised.
Of course.
I'm using as an example. Now, my bottom line here is, if you're not going to take care of those that are disenfranchised, certain like the homeless, the sick, and the elderly,
or the melanated people,
going. You understand what I'm saying? You know when Trump, you know what the purpose of Trump lowering the tax rate on the rich was? So that they can keep more of their money in their pocket. Because when the tax was 40%, the wealthy didn't want to give their money to the country. So what they did was they kept prices low. Once they was able to keep the money, the prices skyrocketed.
Hey, look, if I can interject, if I can put a little something in there, right? Yes, we can. I'm not going to say that the melanated aren't disenfranchised. You know what I'm saying? My background, hello. But I'm also going to say, don't forget this. Now we're starting to get the social economic aspect, because don't forget there's trailer parks out there, and there's people in the Midwest that don't have jack shit, that use the same entitlement programs that they do in the city. So at some point, as people, not black, not white, but as people that aren't in a
hey, I say architect for president. Architect 7 for president. Speak that shit, bro. Keep it going.
But he could say this, but when he get in that chair, he's got to do what they tell him. So therefore, we could vote for an idea, but when it gets to the brass numbers, he's going to have to do what he has to do, and that means the disenfranchised would no longer receive the health care.
Exactly.
The veterans will no longer receive any of the
exactly.
Yeah. So I just want to bring in a new caller, Diva Views. Hey, Diva, welcome. You still there?
Oh yeah, I'm just listening to y'all. Y'all on a roll.
Hey, how you doing, Diva?
So what do you think of this conversation? What do you think of this? It sounds like chaos, huh?
Nah. Architect was Stevie Wood. I'm trying to find out which topic y'all are on, because y'all are all over the place.
Because that's where it's at. That's where it's all at. It's all over.
One dude's on Gaddafi, the other guy's on veterans bits, one dude's on entitlement programs, the other dude's talking about Chicago being the murder capital. I'm like, pick one.
It all affects us.
What do you pick? What do you feel like you want to talk about?
I was just gonna come in and see what kind of hip hop stuff y'all were talking about, but this is some deep C-SPAN mess right here. Let me call Ben Shapiro.
They got too many of us over here right now. Yeah.
It was like, hello, Diamond and
Let's
Silk.
talk about hip hop, because y'all was talking about the battle between RZA and Premier before I came, and I did want to talk about
that's what we was talking about.
But we got deep because when we hook up with the architect, all of us, it's go,
This our normal conversations, yeah. But what do you want to talk about?
Well, I always end up coming in late. Don Juan always checks his watch and says, you're kind of late, Miss Views. Class started 2.5 hours ago.
No. I think it's a perfect timing, Diva, and it's a perfect segue, because we were just going to wrap this up by going into our favorite videos of the week. You guys should check it out. Are you guys down for that?
Our women have suffered more than anyone in this conversation, because they are black, they are Hispanic, and they are considered the weakest of the.
Dude, that's a whole other show. That whole other show, dude.
Women. Yeah.
And you know what? That's who
you don't have another 2.5 hours.
If you got something to say, baby, I'm waiting to hear.
I don't got another 2.5 hours.
No, I'm just saying, y'all don't have another 2.5 hours. I came in strolling with
we talk
chicken biscuit in my hand, and class is almost over. So I mean,
what's the solution, gentlemen? That's what it is. What are the solutions?
Yeah, we tired of talking about problems. Let's create a solution.
I don't have any.
So the solution is UNITY.
That's why I say architect for president.
Yeah,
I like that architect.
Yeah. I like that too.
Start social capital.
Why when you want to stay in the house? That's what we got to do. We got to stay home.
Bro, that's my freedom. You talking about my freedom? You talking about my freedom? Don't call me selfish for wanting to practice my rights. You can't do that.
If you're practicing your rights, then they can't
do that.
The curve is stopped, or the rise of the infected stop. You understand? You got to play their game. It'll stop.
So, hey,
how do you Democrats say it? My body, my choice.
He said, "How do you Democrats say it?" Hey, look, y'all know we in the same. Y'all know
that's how the Democrats say it, right? My body, my choice. Let me have mine.
Y'all know when architect run for president, we can't be arguing in front of them people.
Let me do that.
We need all of us. we need all of us for this campaign. We can't be arguing in front of them people. I'm glad we're getting this all out now.
No, we debating. We're not arguing.
Yeah, we're not debating. Exactly, we debating.
We debating.
And
we do just like they
because
do.
We got so many different opinions. One thing about it, and it did bounce around a lot of topics. We have so many different opinions, and it was not one argument. So I respect you and I love you, brothers, even more for that, because that was dope. We are moving forward as a people.
But the thing about it is they spread us so and cause confusion. Now, let me tell you about what the real big problem is. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm hating on them, but let's take for a company like Berkshire Hathaway. Okay, this company has been so smart that they have purchased any company that's been the number one in all of the companies in the world. Let's say the pizza shop, they own the number one pizza shop. They own the number one insurance company. Now that's how they created a monopoly. They didn't create a monopoly vertically. They created a monopoly horizontally. They bought the number one companies in all of the franchises, and now that is where the wealth is, at the tippity top. And as long as that's the situation, we will never, ever have anything else but confusion, because we'll be too busy looking around and trying to poke up the holes in the boat before it sinks.
Right. And so that goes back to my point, is that we've been brought into this world and put in this box, right? It's the thing of, all black folks and all Hispanics gotta vote Democratic. If not, they're sellouts.
Poor people.
Those are the ideals that they've created, though. That's what I'm saying. They've created these parameters that if you don't function within them, then you must be crazy.
Yeah.
Who's they?
You know one thing though, the brother, it was a pent up conversation. Micah said, as soon as we get money, right, we just spend it. We gotta understand that we the number one consumers. So if we take our money, invest in ourselves, invest in our families, invest in us, there's no banks, and we don't have a community.
No.
That's why they're trying to open up the barbershops and the hair salons. Nah, I'm fucking with y'all.
We don't have a community. If a architect, beware, Dave, if we was able to invest in a bank that's black owned. Yeah. Invest into beauty.
We can.
Black owned,
and we can. And we do
now. The money that we spend out.
It's a long race we running though. They've been doing this shit for years. But I'm glad that they've been doing this shit for years.
We can't express ourselves on this here stream without spending money.
But I think hip hop is a platform. See, a lot of us we try to gentrify the hip hop the way that they gentrify ourselves and our livelihood. They want to separate us, and we separate us. our only platform.
We're our own worst enemy.
I feel.
Yeah.
Huh? Yes.
We're our own
right.
worst enemy.
Our only platform is through hip hop. And if brothers like the way that we're speaking right now, and if we get on a platform and we're rapping and we're amongst each other, and people are showing real estate investment, buying up,
but who we buying
anything,
from?
like,
We buying from somebody that's poor, that's down on their luck, unfortunate. That's what this country is built on, taking advantage of the misfortune or the unfortune of someone else. And that's not
how about building and uniting?
Yes,
we can build within ourselves and unite within each other. Yes, ma'am.
There's not enough that think like that, my brother Bolo. It's more that want to take advantage of us than it is that want to help us. Go ahead, Diva.
Remember how he said they? He said they.
The 1%.
That's where you've already lost. It's they. It's they versus us. And as long as there's a they, there's always going to be an us. And no matter who you take in or put out of the equation, it's always going to be like that.
Selfishness is
once you pay attention to once you pay attention to who they is, once you pay attention to who the they is and get all us together, then maybe you can get something done. But the reason they get to be the 1% is because they are them. They actually got together. It's all of us that everybody wants to be in charge and nobody wants to be a leader, and everybody's idea has to be the one.
Well,
nobody wants to be led.
Again, another example: Amazon. Amazon is the #1 purchase consumer company.
Where did Amazon come from?
We purchase. People purchase from Amazon while they're unemployed. Yeah, and they want to. So then, how are we going to ever have this when the small business don't get anything because the big conglomerate taking it all?
Right.
Like
That's
this,
exactly. It's by design. There's a reason why the big box stores are the only place we can go.
We have to realize this: the capitalist theory that we built this country on and on the backs of slaves was wrong then, and it's wrong now. By
but it's too late to turn it around now.
No, it's not, Diva. Stop saying that.
No, it's not. It's never too late.
It absolutely is. You really think that the 1% that you just pointed out is going to let you come in and restructure everything to roll back capitalism? No.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen in the next 60 generations. Because there's always going to be somebody ready to tear it down.
You know why? I
feel like this. I've been around a lot of.
That shit wasn't built overnight. That shit wasn't built overnight. What they did. This shit has been working for hundreds of years already. So it may take hundreds of years to get out of it. But the unity has never been like it is because it's more of us recognizing today. You always have to recognize the enemy. Don't get caught up on them, but you got to recognize it to know that we are in a war, bro. It is a war. It is a war when someone has been constantly trying to take you out, but recognizing it, and it's going to take. We ain't gonna see it in our lifetime, but when we break a lot of these generational curses that we now know about because we intelligent enough to figure it out and see the systematic part of it, like when we break these curses and what Bolo was talking about, teach our kids, and then our kids teach their kids, then our whole is going to be more conscious than even we are now, and it's going to take unity. But we do have to recognize that it is possible. Oh my God, y'all, don't break my heart. Don't break my heart and tell me it's never gonna happen.
bro.
Somebody's got to get those 30 million jobs, and the people that get them jobs are the people that are going to be responsible for changing things.
Well, you got to remember, you got to participate.
With you, Dave.
You got to participate.
It start with you. It start with me. It start with us.
You got to participate. You got to participate in order for whatever game they play to be effective, right?
Yeah.
So if you withdraw and you create your own community and you grow your own food and you got your own carpenters and you got your own mechanics and you got all the people that have the skill sets.
You're starting ground zero. That's not
okay.
In the middle,
already proven the foundation of what's being built right now doesn't work. What happened?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the music. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't hear the music. Was it broadcast? You got to unmute your mic, Bolo. I can't hear you, boss.
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Big shout to Emberg. Big shout to Boy Unique. Big shout to David Bars. Yeah, I mean that's some real hip hop right there.
Yeah. Architect, you still there?
Yeah, man. Yo, this shit went way left, but I'm digging it.
Hey, why not? Hey, Architect. Hey, Architect.
What's good, bro? What's good, bro?
Hey, I vote you for 20 for president.
That's how I'm the timeline president on Facebook.
The timeline president on Facebook, bro.
Well, let's get final thoughts here so we can close out. It looks like Don Juan's ready to wrap it up.
I just want to be the campaign manager. You know how much money we fitting to get?
You see, that's problem. You can't steal it once you get the power. You can't be the one that
Don Juan.
Misappropriate funds. Misappropriate
What you think, Don Juan? Architect for president?
Architect, absolutely. Not president, governor.
There we go. And look, that's how they were saying. Look, because for real, it really depends on the local.
That's what I was trying to say. It does. Because the federal.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, fellas, we gotta wrap this up, man. I got Dialect back in here. I appreciate Bolo the General. You can always catch Bolo at We Feed the Culture Mix Show hashtag and catch him there. And also, I want to thank my man Beware. Hey, Beware! Congratulations to your daughter. Her album went gold. I bet she'll go platinum. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate you, yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Love you, brothers, man.
Can we get on the show?
Hey,
that's a separate deal.
Look, Dave always reaching. There you go, Dave. You got it, bro.
I wish she was up right now. She's in here passed out.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but shout out to you though, bro. You always showing me
big
love.
shout out to Hip Hop Citizen.
Hip Hop Citizen played my last couple mixtapes and my last couple videos and my daughter's shit and thank you for that, brother. Because
it's always a pleasure, fam.
You are definitely feeding the culture as well. Shout out to you, Bolo. You know I love what y'all doing over there, man.
Hey, man, as long as we all can feed the culture, man, we all gonna live prosperous.
That's all it is, man. It's more, and it's kind of funny how we looking at that is the same way we got to look at everything else. Like if we all on one accord, man, it's hard to beat. It's hard. It's hard to stop that, man. It's hard to stop that, and not be all on the court, like all on one accord, like never have disagreements, but all on one accord, like we see the mission and we see that it's hard, but man, together we can get it. That's anything. That's anything. If we wanted to buy houses, if we wanted to do hip hop, if we all put our minds together, man, we could do that easy.
That's right. Hey, and beware.
Hey, Don Juan, that's what we're doing right now, man. I love you, man. Hey, I appreciate you putting me on this platform, bro.
Bro, both ways, bro. You know, you always family with us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, why don't you
Let's
give
do
me
it.
man, before we wrap this up? Hey, you got some socials? You want to drop out? The socials?
Huh?
Your social security number.
Nah, you mean social medias?
Hey, look. Hey, Dave. I just want to talk to you on a personal, man. I love your conversations, bro. So you know what I mean? We gotta link up.
Likewise, I look forward to it, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, man, Bolo the General, Beware, DRT, Apex, King Cam. We gonna get it in. This is Northern Virginia, man. I love it.
I love it right now. I love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get out and see it. Ron O'Neal on Facebook, The Real King Savage Bark on Instagram, Mr. Beware on Twitter. Don't judge me for none of this shit I post.
Yeah, you wow. I just saw your Facebook. Saw your Facebook post.
I just want to have fun sometimes. I don't know. We're gonna blame it on the weed.
I think we got a segment for you, Beware. We got a meme segment that we're working on, man. I think you'd be great for that.
Man, let me know. I always got something. I got 1 million now. I just keep it to the side.
Yeah. There you have it. Beware and Bolo the General, everyone. Hip Hop Citizen live stream. Thank you for
Salute,
tuning
gentlemen.
in, man. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna keep in touch, Bolo.
Yep.
And Beware. We'll keep in touch.
Yes, sir. I'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah. I thought we lost Architect. There's Architect. All right, guys. I think we had another entertaining show. I don't know about you, but I thought the show was very entertaining.
Yes, sir.
I hope it was educational as well.
Totally educational. You know what I'm saying? It's always great when we have our friends like Bolo, the General from Feed the Culture. And that was also great. I thought it was a great show, Architect. Yeah. I thought it was a great show. What do you think, Architect?
Yo, that shit went way off the motherfucking rails. But it was all right. Whatever. Hey, I guess that's why we do what we do, man.
That's it. Like I said, we feed the culture, and it's a hip hop citizen, baby. That's how it's done. You know what I'm saying? It was always
that joint got live real quick.
Oh yeah. I just give a quick shout out to Diva Views, our YouTube viewer from I think it was North Carolina, right? Big shout out to her. It's always great to have you calling in, Diva. Look forward to seeing more of you, actually.
Hey man, I was trying to keep it all hip hop tonight, man, but it just
sometimes
just like a tornado just blew me out the picture, and I just found my way back. So
yo, that was intense.
The lines got a lot. The lines got a lot.
I swear, every time I came back in, it was a new topic. 1 minute you guys were talking about, yo man, aliens. You know, Pluto wasn't really it wasn't a planet no more. And then you came back in, the black and brown. I was like, oh, like where they all over the place, man. I was like, okay,
but it's all relevant.
It was good though. It was like good conversation. I was highly entertained.
We're spread thin. That's the whole point. We're spread thin. We can't unite on one cause because there's too many.
Hey, that's a great way to summarize it for real.
Hey, Don Juan, do I got a chance to share this one meme real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, share it. Yeah, good.
Let me do that. I wanted to shout this meme out right here. I think
we're ready for a 4-hour show like these other broadcasters.
Yeah. Don Juan, you got it ready?
Yeah, that joint got crazy quick.
You're up, Dollar.
Killing your set every day. Microphone check 1, 2, here we go. And I'ma let you know who got the flow. Spitting my verbs like an automatic weapon.
Yeah, that joint got crazy quick.
I wonder where Shorty at now.
What's that?
I wonder where Shorty at now. she's cute. I was just saying, you know.
Hey yo, so Diva Views, she said you guys are everywhere with it, and I'm like, yeah, the world right now, it's everywhere with it.
I don't even know how it got there. I just remember we were talking about Wu-Tang and Ghostface producing the final album, and I don't know, man.
Well, we started talking about the COVID, and when you're talking about the COVID, there is so many integral parts of that situation, and it's so economic, it's so science, it's so historical, it's just so many parts.
It's so freedom. There's so many layers to it. It's so deep right now.
Yeah,
but you know, I think that's why we got this platform, man. And I'm happy to say that we're able to have those conversations, arguments, whatever you want to call them. But I think it's healthy. And in an environment where a lot of this stuff is getting blocked and pushed aside, anybody with differing views is getting lambasted and looked at as crazy. That's why we got this platform.
Because you want to know what the problem is? And this is my final thoughts. I'm going to give my social media after this right here because I'm going to shut up. The problem is no one's there. There's no God. There's no judge to say who's right and who's wrong. And you can reach me at David Simonism. That's DavidSimonism at all social media platforms except Twitter because they throw me off. And PSA, stop passing the 40s, stop passing the blunts.
I love it, David Simonism. Hey, by the way, you can always find me at Hip Hop Citizen, at Hip Hop Citizen 1 on Twitter. And of course, as always, right here on the Hip Hop Citizen live stream on both YouTube and Facebook.
Yep. You can find me at Instagram at Architect7 and also on Facebook.
Yeah, you can find me at Dialect718, Instagram, Twitter. You can find me on Hip Hop Citizen on Facebook.
Yo, and if you really want to be entertained, you can check out my personal page and you can get off of the Architect 7. I like to stir shit up. So if you like that, let's go.
Well said, Architect. That's all I have, fellas. Until next week, we'll check you right here. Make sure you hit the notifications, subscribe to YouTube, hit the like page. At Hip Hop Citizen Live Show.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, man.